The starting pitching has been money as of late, but lucky number 7 fell just out of reach last night for the Astros. Tonight, Dallas Keuchel takes on an Oriole attack filled with high rollers as Brandon Barnes and the Astros double down on a 7th win in 8 tries. A high-stakes showdown in Houston next. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Comcast Sportsnet brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, it's Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Astros and the Baltimore Orioles. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown, Alan Ashby, Jeff Blum. 6-0 road trip, a loss last night. We'll see if things can get revved up again tonight, Ash.
Yeah, I'd love to see that happen. It comes down to pitching, but the Astros got the solid pitching last night, just not enough offense.
And Blummer, they continue to make some good plays defensively. That didn't always happen in last night's game.
Yeah, that's what they've got to do. Defense is a big key. When you're getting that starting pitching, usually that defense is in rhythm. And last night, they may have been a little tired from that road trip, but look for them to turn things around today.
A lot of eyes are on Brandon Barnes, who's getting this everyday opportunity now, with Justin Maxwell just having begun his injury rehab assignment in the minors. So far, there's the way it shakes out. What do you read into those numbers, Ash?
Well, he certainly has hit the left-handers much better to this point than the right-handers. The thing about Brandon Barnes, it's really about the defense. But if he's going to play on this Astros club on a steady basis, for me, it's a center fielder. Not enough power to play in the corners, but in the minor leagues, hit for some power, also stole some bases, so he's very intriguing. I just think we all need to see more of him.
What are you seeing in him, Jeff?
Well, the defense is definitely not his problem. He's gone out there, he's errorless in all the games he's played this year in center field. But you're right, Ash. I don't think he has a pop to move to the corner, but he might be one of those guys that moves into a platoon situation. But he is a guy I'd like to see in the lineup because his average with runners in scoring position is .471, and run production is key for the pitching we're getting right now.
He's been a good occasional player, but I was asking him before the game how different his mindset is when he knows he's going to be in the lineup. He said it's not different at all. Well, this is going to be an interesting time ahead for Brandon Barnes to try to establish himself in the lineup every night. Now, coming up, Julia Morales has more on a native Texan. And the guy who's leading in home runs in the major leagues, Mr. Chris Davis, has 20. He's from Longview. Julia has more on him in just a moment.
Comcast Sportsnet. We're almost underway here at Minute Maid Park with the Astros and Orioles going in the second game of a 3-game series. The Houston Astros will try to keep the bat of Chris Davis quiet again tonight. The first baseman for the Baltimore Orioles will be playing in front of a lot of family and friends, as he is from Longview, Texas, and his parents are actually from north of Houston. So lots of people here cheering him on, and good memories come to Chris Davis when he comes back to this ballpark. He made his major league debut here in 2008 with the Texas Rangers. Also got his first major league hit here. So lots of good memories for him. He's come a long way since then, and he has been on fire to start the season, driving in 16 runs in his first 4 games. He leads the American League in home runs. Check it out, 20 already, 52 RBI. He's second in average with 355. Not bad, right? Well, last night, Lucas Harrell did a nice job against him, giving up his only hit of the night right there, a broken bat single, but he also got him looking. Nice pitch there for Harrell. Not an easy task to get this guy out. I've been talking to some of the pitchers about pitching Chris Davis. Well, the first thing they say, can't make a mistake against a guy that is that hot right now. But they're also trying to work the edges for this guy, get him to expand his zone a little bit. All right, coming up, Dallas Keuchel will take on the task of trying to get Chris Davis out, and the Orioles trying to carry some of his momentum from his last start in Anaheim. The lefty and the Astros taking on the Orioles right after the break. Stay with us.
By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by the Chipotle Chicken Club Combo, which is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax. So as they paddle down the bayous here in downtown Houston, it's the Astros and Orioles in air-conditioned comfort at Minute Maid Park. It's game 2 of a 3-game series. Bill Brown, Alan Ashby, Jeff Blum. And this game is just a couple of minutes away from starting. We have some extra time, guys. What do you feel like talking about?
What's going on in Major League Baseball? Oh, that's right.
The draft. Well, let's look ahead to this pitching matchup tonight. For one thing, Dallas Keuchel is coming off a very good game against the Angels.
He did do good. See, he's throwing that cutter. I think we're going to have some video later on in the game about it. You can see his arm angle and what he's doing, but he's throwing a lot more off speed as opposed to early in the season when he was relying on his fastball. But tonight, an ex-teammate, Freddie Garcia, you can expect to see a lot of slow stuff from him.
Freddie Garcia last time out dominated over 8 innings with that stuff.
Doesn't quite have the velocity. He's got to go to that split finger quite a bit now.
Now the Astros have taken the field. We check the starting lineup now for Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles, who are 2.5 games out of the lead in the AL East. Nate McLeod leads it off. He's the left fielder. Manny Machado's at third base. J.J. Hardy is bumped up to the number 3 spot in the lineup at shortstop. Nick Markakis will miss tonight and tomorrow's game away after the death of a grandparent. Adam Jones is the center fielder. Chris Davis at first base. Matt Wieters the catcher. Danny Valencia the DH batting 7th. It's Steve Pearce in right field for Markakis tonight batting 8th. And Alexei Casilla is the second baseman.
And on the mound tonight for the Astros is left-hander Dallas Keuchel. Rumor has it he's benefited from having Eric Bedard in the rotation. Kind of compare notes, feed off each other, see what works against right-handed hitters. But he's done a good job of late. Last outing in Anaheim went 7 innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, striking out 4 and walking nobody.
That 7-inning outing, his longest of the year. And behind him tonight defensively, Carlos Corporon behind the plate. Around the infield, Carlos Pena, Jose Altuve, Marwin Gonzalez, and Matt Dominguez. In the outfield, Brandon Barnes again flashed in the leather and center, surrounded by Trevor Crowe and J.D. Martinez.
The Orioles are leading the league in total bases and in slugging, also in homers. You see some of the birds. Davis with 20 bombs, Machado 325 average, and Adam Jones not only has those glittering offensive numbers, but he can take some numbers away from the other team, Blummer.
So we saw him track down some balls we thought were definitely hits and actually had to go to the replay to double check how he did it. But the Lucas Harrell did a great job of keeping those guys in check last night.
Absolutely he did. Unfortunately for the Astros, they lost it 4-1. And now Keuchel works to Nate McLeod. There's strike one. McLeod had 296 with 4 homers, has driven in a dozen, and last night he stole a couple and scored a run, going 1 for 4 in that game. Keuchel's gotten a lot of ground balls this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. That is the case when he throws his fastball a high percentage of the time, and he's leading the American League in ground ball to fly ball ratio. We were hearing from Jeff Murphy, who is out in the bullpen, that Dallas is really working on standing tall this year, trying to throw in a more downward plane. Seems to be working.
Gets about a ground ball and a half for every ball hit in the air this year, so it's adding up very nicely for him.
Dallas is 6-3. With that 2-2 record, he faces the Orioles for the first time in his career. Orioles have won 7 straight from the Astros. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count with Machado on deck. And McLeod is tied for the American League lead in stolen bases after the 2 last night pushed him up to 21 for the year. He hits this one deep to right center field. Barnes on the run. That's a 1-hopper, and that goes out of play, which might have saved the Astros a base there. It's a double into those restaurant seats out in center field. And McLeod gets his 12th 2-base hit of the year.
As well as McLeod runs, I don't think there's any doubt about it, Brownie. I think he has a triple if this ball doesn't bounce out of here. A curveball that just simply hung left up for the left-hand hitter.
Yeah, that thing ballooned up there and just stayed in the upper part of the zone in 2 strikes. McLeod is a pretty good hitter and just waffles it into that right center field gap.
Well, last night he stole 2nd and 3rd and later scored in that inning. Well, the Astros will be watching him with Marwin Gonzalez playing fairly close to him right now. And Machado, the batter, 1 for 4 last night. That's in the dirt, and it's ball 1. The Orioles last night had 4 runs on 8 hits. Machado in the 3rd inning doubled and scored, and that made it 2-0 Baltimore at that point. With their pitching staff, they got the lead and were able to maintain it. Machado lays off, and the extremely talented third baseman goes to 2-0 on the count. Just 20 years old. And a shortstop until last year. He only played about 2 or 3 games at third in the minor leagues before he was bumped up to the big league club and then played every inning of every game for the rest of the year from early August on through the playoffs. McLeod streaks for third base, and the routine grounded to shortstop gets him there. Was hit too slowly to prevent McLeod from getting to third.
It's a good read by Nate McLeod. There's a base runner at second base. You want to see that ball on the left-hand side, and I think you're right, Brownie. That ball hit at the rate of speed it was, allowed him to get a good jump on it and make it be on his left-hand side. Marwin Gonzalez taking the smart route and getting the out at first.
That's always that rule as a base runner at second base. If you can get that ball well enough behind you as you head toward third base, you're likely to not even draw a throw.
You can also change your angle running into third base to create a, maybe a little bit of an obstacle in between you and the shortstop, and not allowing him to make that throw too.
Swing a little deep on that left field side.
Foul ball by J.J. Hardy. Hardy 2 for 4 in last night's game. Starts the night with 12 homers, 34 runs batted in, hitting .250. After hitting 22 home runs last year, he drove in 68. J.J. 30 years old. He came up through the Milwaukee organization, a second-round pick in 01, and went to the Twins in a trade before Baltimore got him after the 2010 season in another deal. He chased that one 0-2.
I think JJ realizing that the infield's playing him back, and great opportunity to drive in the runner at third with just a lousy ground ball, being a little aggressive. It's the first time he swung at the first pitch in 21 plate appearances.
Hardy's not biting there, and it's a 1-ball 2-strike count for Keuchel.
I think as a hitter, that's a great way to catch a team off guard. Reports will say, look, he likes to take a lot of first pitches, get a man at third base less than 2 outs, and maybe get that crippled fastball to start things and drive in a run.
Good time to ambush him.
Two balls, 2 strikes to J.J. Hardy, who last year became the 4th different Oriole shortstop to win a Gold Glove. A fantastic year in the field. He's the only shortstop in the majors to hit at least 20 homers in each of the past 2 seasons. Ground ball up the middle, and that will make it 1-0 Baltimore. RBI single by Hardy. 35th run batted in for J.J. Hardy.
What a difference if, as a pitcher, you can get your glove on this ball quickly. And Keuchel tried with everything he had, but if you don't square up, it's just going to be awfully tough.
Still another off-speed pitch, maybe a little bit further up in the zone than Dallas Keuchel wanted, and allowed J.J. Hardy to get barrel on it. Hit it hard enough to get it past Altuve.
Now it's Adam Jones batting. He was 0 for 4 last night, but had an impact with his glove in that game. In the dirt for ball 1. Jones with 11 homers, 37 runs batted in, has a .307 batting average. He made 1 good catch on Matt Dominguez and another fine catch on Jose Altuve. And 1.
Some kind of plays in center field, Adam Jones can go get it, and a lot of times you'll see him blowing a bubble as he's backtracking there. But this is the one that was really dazzling. You see, he started to blow a bubble and decided, well, maybe I better go ahead and make the play without.
And I think Minute Maid Park's one of those ballparks where a center fielder can really relax and put his head down and go back over his shoulder like that, knowing he's got another 200 feet before he gets anywhere near a wall.
Isn't that the truth? A center fielder in this park can be so valuable.
I think it's good news that before you get to the wall, you'll run into a flagpole.
Get your legs cut out from underneath you and headbutt the flagpole.
Adam Jones was the Orioles MVP last year. Fly ball here. Barnes back. And tagging at first, Hardy, but he's just going to draw a throw and hold on. 2 outs. Hey, you think about guys like Carlos Beltran, who patrolled center field here, and Willie Taveras. They could really provide an immense amount of help to a pitching staff.
You know, if you're auditioning, and I think Brandon Barnes is to some degree as a center fielder, what better place to get a chance to go track him down from gap to gap?
True. Now it's Chris Davis coming up. Davis with 20 homers and 52 runs batted in, with eye-popping numbers here. 58 games into the season. This one gets by, and that will allow Hardy to advance to second base on a wild pitch by Keuchel.
Kind of a case of stiffening and the glove coming up just a little bit instead of just relaxing over the baseball. See that glove come up, it provides some 5-hole and provides some angles as well as balls can kick from side to side.
Davis now has a runner in scoring position and a 1-0 count. As Julia mentioned earlier, he got his first major league hit here in 08. He was a member of the Rangers then. It's a 2-ball no strike count to Chris Davis, who's 27. He was a 5th round pick in 06. It's kind of interesting now that we're a few hours away from the draft to look back at where some of the top performers in the game were drafted. 5th rounder here, leading the majors in homers. 2 balls, 1 strike. We focus so much on that first pick for each club, but oh boy, that's so much the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Chris Davis and trying to imagine what the scout's saying. Yeah, but he doesn't run all that well.
Yeah. Foul tip makes it 2-2. Well, you know, in those draft rooms, and the scouts have been gathered in there, they spend all day in there discussing these guys, dissecting them. Probably feel like they're filleting fish by the time they get finished for the whole day in there. They have looked at every different thing that they know about a player. Broken bat. It rolls to Pena, and he tosses to Keuchel. Davis got a broken bat hit last night. This one shatters, and it's the 3rd out, and it's 1-0 Baltimore. Now the Astros come up against Freddie Garcia, former Astro farmhand, with Bo Porter's lineup cards, starting with Brandon Barnes in center field, continuing with second baseman Jose Altuve. The DH is Jason Castro. In left field, J.D. Martinez. The catcher, Carlos Corcoran. At first base, Carlos Pena. In right field, Trevor Crow. The third baseman, Matt Dominguez. And the shortstop is Marwin Gonzalez.
Freddie Garcia, 36 years of age now, 2-2 on the year, 3.57, a nice ERA, and 8 shutout innings against Washington in a win. Last time out, he's won 2 straight and 2-0 over his last 3 starts. So the veteran, and you can certainly say that about Freddie Garcia, has been pitching well.
Jeff Plum can tell us a whole lot about him. They were teammates on that 05 World Series winning Chicago White Sox team. Strike 1 to Brandon Barnes, 286, 3 homers, 14 runs batted in. Brandon had a single and a homer last night. Garcia just dialed it up in game 4 of that World Series here. 7 innings of shutout ball to beat the Astros and tuck it away for the Sox.
I think that's pretty interesting. You're talking about last night about the pitching and the hitting and the home runs and what that translates into winning. go back to that 05 World Series, and our starting pitching is basically what carried us through that entire playoffs. We had 4 complete games in Anaheim against a really good ball club, and then we came in here and won the World Series in 4 games, but the margin of victory was only 6.
Cap to the left side, barehanded Machado. He pulled out a bazooka from his right hip to get Barnes for out number 1.
You know, the thing is, if you've got a pitching staff that carries you, and they've got an ERA as a group around the 3 mark, you can win on 4 runs a game. But the standard out there is you've got to score 5+ runs a game to win on a regular basis.
I'd feel a lot more comfortable with that.
Well, you're looking at a shortstop playing third base. That is pretty impressive stuff, Lummer.
Yeah, he is. It's fun to watch him. We've got 2 kids at third base in this game today with the Astros, Matt Dominguez, and that kid right there, Machado.
Jose Altuve looks at ball 1. Jose has a 7-game hitting streak with 7 hits in 7 games, 295, 2 homers, 21 runs batted in. So you might say, well, all right, his average during that 7-game streak is 226. He's in a slump during a hitting streak. Well, not so much, but he's been hitting some balls that have been caught, like last night in the 8th inning. He sent one for that ride, and you saw earlier the catch by Jones in center field. He has been robbed a few times. And this one won't rob him. There's a hit into left center field, and an 8-game streak for Altuve.
Let's take a look at who's playing defense behind Freddie Garcia. Left field, Nate McLouth, Adam Jones again in center field. Steve Pearce taking over for Markakis, who's missing his first game of the season. Manny Machado at third base, J.J. Hardy at short, Alexi Casilla at second base, Chris Davis at first, Matt Weir behind the plate.
And that's a start with Jason Castro coming up next. Castro's first round pick in 08, 272, 7 homers, 17 runs batted in. Castro Valley, California, and Stanford. Now, this time tomorrow night, will Mark Appel be the first pick of the draft? Another Stanford player. Will he be headed to the Astros? Will he be going to the Cubs, who have the 2nd pick? Or will he fall further down the list? A lot of interesting thinking going on as baseball fans review the possibilities for tomorrow. Ash, what's your gut feeling about what the Astros are doing tomorrow night?
Well, I'm not hearing anything with the bottom line. They're holding the cards as close to the best as possible. In fact, I hear that they may not even know amongst themselves right now. I kind of wonder about that, but I would probably look toward Oklahoma and their big right-hander.
Jonathan Gray, there's a deep drive toward the bullpen, way out into right center field. Castro makes it 2-1 Houston. Jumped all over that Garcia pitch. That's number 8 for Jason Castro.
Now, Jason Castro makes you wonder, do you want a pitcher with that first pick or a guy who can swing the stick? Well, he has, of late, made himself look every bit like an early first-round pick.
My goodness, that was beautiful. That angle from behind home plate. Missed a spot by a good foot, left it middle in. Castro just dropped the head, nice short to it, long through it, and drove it in that bullpen. That was beautiful.
He can drive it to all parts of the field.
J.D. Martinez pulls it away. There's strike 1. That was the 8th home run allowed by Freddie Garcia in his 36th inning. Solid square up of the bat by Castro.
So you look at some of the numbers of, say, Chris Davis this year. I will not bring up Miguel Cabrera because it's just not fair. But Chris Davis, if you can land a guy like that, and it's awfully hard to do that, is he as valuable, more valuable than a front of the rotation pitcher that you can pick up? And I think that's that tough debate that you could continue with forever.
Sure is. 1-2. Well, most managers would love to have a guy who has 20 bombs, 52 runs batted in on June 5th. Liner caught by Hardy. Well hit ball by Martinez.
So the Astros swinging it well of late. And of course, you got to start with Jason Castro. Great numbers. Here since May 18th. He's been a player of the week. Carlos Pena's picked up his game. Chris Carter been hitting the home run, and those home runs have provided some wins for the club.
Castro now with his long ball tonight has 5 homers in his last 50 at bats. Carlos Corcoran getting the start behind the plate, so both catchers are in that lineup. And that one floats high for ball 1. Carlos has a 6-game hitting streak. A .308 batting average. He has 4 homers. He's driven in 9. Day game coming tomorrow, so both catchers are in there against the righty Garcia. We'll see who does the work behind the dish tomorrow at 1:10. It's 2 balls, no strikes. As Astros fans who have followed the club for a while well know, Freddie Garcia signed with Houston after being born in Caracas, Venezuela. In '93, was traded to Seattle in July of '98 in a package for Randy Johnson. That's a liner headed for right field. That one rips off the wall, and here's a shot at second. Whoop! He's getting back to first, and he is safe there. Just barely made it back ahead of the Casilla 3-lane. As Pierce played it well off the wall. Pierce has a good arm.
You want to know the definition of panic? Watch this replay. If you're Carlos Corcoran, you know you've just hit one off the wall. You got to get 2 bases, but there's no shot at it whatsoever. And now you've got to make sure you don't make the final out of the inning.
Credit Steve Pierce in right field too. He played with Pittsburgh for a little bit, so he has a little idea of what he's doing out there in Minute Maid Park. But that is a short porch, and Carlos scalded that ball, so he got to the wall pretty quick and bounced back to Steve.
It was a laser shot. Now Carlos Pena. Strike 1 to Carlos at 241.
Blummer, you were never that guy. The guy that just had to dig with everything he had to pick up the extra base. I know you weren't.
You're chuckling when you say this.
But I was that guy, and I know what that feels like going around first base at times. Awfully tough.
3 hits in the inning off Garcia. Infield shifted around as usual. Pena takes it. Pena's had a rough time hitting Garcia. 5 hits and 43 career at bats, 1 homer. Carlos said he's always been a pretty patient hitter.
He's pretty patient getting in and out of the box too.
Tops it foul by Davis. It's a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Now, Brownie, you were talking about this guy, but the Seattle Mariners in 2001 had the American League leading pitcher in innings pitched and ERA that year. And we're talking a ways back, 2001, and it's Freddie Garcia.
18-6 that year with a 3.05 ERA, 238 innings for Freddie Garcia.
Can you land that pitcher that can last a decade or more?
Boy. Steven Strasburg's on the disabled list right now.
Well, I was just going to say, more teams are trying to take, put their hand down there and really control the situation, extend these guys' careers by cutting down on innings at the big league level. Strasburg is the first one that they've done it to. You wonder how many more teams are going to start using that model with their younger pitchers.
Foul ball.
Of course, here's some cold hard reality. Even with a guy like Freddie Garcia, who's been around forever and had a solid career, you've got some years in there where he threw 58 innings 2007, 15 innings in 08, 56 the following year. And so it's not all 200-plus innings every time you look back at a year.
Well, in fact, many would be surprised if they were flashing back to 09 or so that he's pitching still now. That's high to right center field. Pierce watching this one fly. That's another 2-run shot. Carlos Pena, number 6. And it's a huge 4-run first for the Astros, who lead it 4-1. A pair of 2-run homers. Pena now has 18 runs batted in.
I think the Astros are caught up on their sleep, guys. Yesterday was just an aberration. These guys are coming out swinging the pole.
That is nice to see. And Dallas Keuchel gets to breathe a little bit. That wasn't everything into it either.
No, that was that off-speed pitch late in the count, but does a good job of keeping his hands back. And when we say staying through the ball, he gets to that contact point in a great shape, but it's through the ball is what gives him that lift and strength to get it over the wall.
And Trevor Crowe in right field for this game takes ball 1. Pena with number 6. It's his 18th career homer against Baltimore pitching. That's in for a strike. This after Freddie Garcia in his last start shut out Washington for 8 innings. Freddie has 154 major league wins. 1 ball, 2 strikes with Crowe, having reached base safely in 4 of his last 5 plate appearances, getting the call in right. Jimmy Paredes taking a seat tonight. Garcia is 9th on the active win list, and he headed number 1 with 249 wins. And Andy's son Josh from Deer Park, after an outstanding year, could be hearing his name called pretty high in the draft tomorrow as well.
Well, at some point, Andy's going to have to shut it down and be able to come home and watch what's going on with the kids and all the things they're doing.
He is?
Oh, maybe not.
Ground ball foul.
It's so funny because years back, Andy told me he was as close as he could be to being done.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go on pitching a number of years more, and I'm talking about probably mid first decade in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's been amazing to see him go on and on.
Until you reminded him that he did pitch left-handed.
You know, left-handed, and he was quite effective and one of the greatest postseason pitchers of all time. And there are a few other things you could talk about with Andy.
Why quit now? Why not pitch until Josh arrives on the major league scene? You see Castro and Pena there. They want to get up to the plate again and unleash those home run swings. Bounce to the right side, diving Davis from his knees, and he gets the out at first with Garcia covering. Altuve singled, Castro homered. Martinez lined out, Corcoran singled, Pena homered, and it's 4-1 Houston after 1.
On top 4-1 as we head to the second here. It's time for our Geico quote of the day. It is, if you throw them down the middle, you can hit on the edges too. I feel like that's helped my control a little bit. That comes from Lucas Harrell, who started last night, but he's not talking about last night's start. He's actually talking about bullpen sessions. Pitching coach Doug Brocail told me this too. They've been working on throwing strikes during their sessions, and he's seen his pitchers be more aggressive because of it. They're throwing more first pitch strikes. I want to know what Ash thinks of these strike throwing sessions.
Well, Julia, I guess my comment is it certainly helps if you have a ball that moves quite a bit. And Lucas Harrell with that sinker, that falls into that kind of play. And I think a lot of guys that have been good sinker ball pitchers through the years have benefited by trying to throw the ball through the heart of the plate. Number one, strikes tend to help over balls. And if you can get it down on top of that, I think Lucas Harrell can survive even in games by trying to find a lot of the plate and letting the action take care of things.
Blummer was chuckling when you said that.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's go to the bullpen and work on throwing strikes. What do you say? Come on, guys. Let's go get them.
It sounds really silly, but it's amazing what takes place out there at times. Sometimes guys will just tell you, they'll scream at you, I'm just trying to get loose. Well, go ahead and get loose with strikes.
Pena short hop play and a nice play. That would be akin to you going in the batting cage and working on getting hits, Blummer.
Yeah, I'm going to go in there and work on hits or only swing at strikes. I don't know. Sometimes you can oversimplify it, but I understand what Ash is saying and what I think Lucas was trying to say with the movement he does have on his ball. But sometimes you got to really appreciate how quirky and thoughtful pitchers can be. Oh man, pitchers are great. I've been friends with a lot of pitchers, but sometimes you hear them speak and you just kind of go, huh?
Yeah, but you're talking about in-game being friends with pitchers.
No, actually, I mean,
where you just crush them all the time, right?
Yeah, it makes for some good competitive banter sometimes, but yeah, I mean, there's times where I would just walk away just because I didn't understand what was going on.
You're talking about practice, Blummer.
You're talking about practice.
1 ball, 1 strike to Danny Valencia, the DH.
Allen Iverson has just walked in the booth.
Man, I love it. But Lucas Harrell has shown himself to be one of those more peculiar pitchers that we've run into over the years.
Quirky,
to say the least.
Yeah. Tell you what, no walks, 6 strikeouts in 7 innings, 1 earned run.
Because he threw strikes.
Okay. He can be quirky.
Working that zone.
Valencia shoots one into the right field corner after hitting a homer last night. He's going to head for second and get a double here. The throw is offline, but it would have been close. Trevor Crow's throw to the outfield side of the bag, but that's the 3rd double for Valencia.
Trevor Crow did a good job of getting to that ball quickly and showed a good arm. We were kind of deep down the angle that we have up here, but if it was online, he might have had a shot.
Yeah, Trevor certainly could have worked on the strike zone right there, because I think he had a great shot at his man.
Will he be sent to the bullpen tomorrow?
Well, if he does, Doug Brocail will get it straightened out. That's for sure. Yeah, that's getting rid of the ball nice and quick.
Well, too, they tried with the flip. I appreciate that.
Now Steve Pearce, the right fielder. He was with the Astros last year. Their strike one, Steve. 219, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. Steve is 30 years old, from Lakeland, Florida. Went to South Carolina, where he had a big senior season with 21 homers. And last year he played for 3 different major league clubs, including Baltimore and Houston, as well as the Yankees. So he's feeling right home and schizophrenic with these 2 clubs playing each other, probably. No balls, 2 strikes.
Speaking of schizophrenic, we'll get back to the pitchers. And I think, you know, sometimes I think you hear pitchers trying to be too fine, trying to work those edges, and you're trying to throw all these off-speed pitches and try and figure out where your release point's going to be on a slider, curveball, changeup in order to get a strike or try and hit that corner. But I think working that middle of the zone, it opens up your visual a little bit more, saying I've got a chance to work in the zone as opposed to trying to nitpick or nibble on corners, or you can start walking guys, you know. So I think working strikes, you know, is a good idea.
You know what I think of it as you say that? I think all professional athletes, once things start going well, you start maybe thinking outside the box a little bit more about how you can even get better. And I think that's what happens with pitchers when they start trying to get too fine. It suddenly feels easy, and now we're going to paint a little bit more.
And on the other hand, you hear pitchers when they're getting raked, oh man, I'm catching too much of the plate, I got to start working the edges. So it's kind of a double-edged sword to work with, but I like the idea that Doug is, you know, giving these guys some options, and it's working. You got to find those things that click. I know with a lot of the hitting coaches, if you find the right vernacular to talk to these guys with, it's going to click. They're going to go, oh yeah, you know, coach said, you know, keep my hands inside the ball, and that's what works. So if Doug is saying, hey, throw strikes in the strike zone when you're in the bullpen, it seems to be working.
If a guy has a standard over-the-top 4-seam fastball that's 90, 91 miles an hour, and he says, I'm going to try to work to the heart of the plate, probably not going to work.
Exactly, yeah.
But if he's got a good sinking action or a cutter or whatever the case may be, now he's got a chance. When you start it at the heart of the plate, it starts to work toward the corners.
Exactly. That's a very good way of putting it.
Doug Brocail, Bo Porter, their club up 4-1. Hoping Dallas Keuchel can get Alexi Casilla here to win the Orioles' second inning. That works for strike 2. Casilla came up with the Angels, then he was traded to the Twins. Baltimore made him a waiver claim last year. Switch hitter. Brian Roberts, who at one point was a very good Major League second baseman, hurt again this year for Baltimore.
He's asking a couple of their broadcasters if Brian Roberts were to get healthy once again, would he get inserted at second base? And they said, yeah, he would. He's better than anybody they have. But I think he's reached that point in his career that the Orioles feel like they can't count on him anymore.
Good stop by Carlos Corcoran. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes now.
But as a switch hitter who loaded up, I mean, he could go 50 doubles a year. He was one of those kinds of guys, and he had some home run pop there for a while. Just a little guy, but took advantage of a friendly home run ballpark in Baltimore. A heck of a ball player.
Bounce foul. Keuchel was telling me, Blummer, the other day that he was pitching well in September last year. He had 4 good starts in a row, feeling good about things. But then the last start of the season, it just really stuck in his craw that he did not throw the ball well at all. There were things he didn't do that he had been doing, and he went home and did some soul searching over the winter. And as a result, we're seeing a different, new and improved version. He's pitching inside a lot better this year.
I think that's a big key for some of these left-handers that don't have the fastball to blow guys away on that outside corner. Because you got to work that inside corner. We see it with Eric Bedard. Him being able to work that inside corner and even just keep guys off balance allows their off-speed pitches to be that much better. When they're you plant that seed, you might come inside. And you were just talking about Brian Roberts, and we've got a tweet of the day from @Astros County. It says Brian Roberts has more All-Star votes than Jose Altuve. Brian Roberts has 12 ABs this season.
Apparently he was pretty good in those 12 at-bats, huh?
Must have been.
I think Astros County is trying to light a fire underneath the Astro fan base to get Altuve some more votes.
Yeah.
Deservedly so.
That's fine. Nate McLeod, the batter. Altuve over to his left, but Pena's in front of him and throws. Whoa, what a play by Keuchel. He had to reach way out and save Pena a throwing error for the 3rd out. It's no runs, a hit. 2 men left on that big play. 4-1 Astros. 4-1 ball game. The Astros lead it as they bat in the second inning with Matt Dominguez leading off. And he looks at ball one. At .233, Matt has 8 homers, 29 runs batted in. He's driven in a run in 4 of his last 7 games and 10 of his last 18 games. Garcia goes to a 2-0 count. Freddie does not throw his fastball in the upper velocity of Major League pitchers, averaging 87. That's a pretty low average for a Major League fastball, but he survives by using his other pitches well. And as Dan Radisson was telling me, he's one of the Astros hitting coaches. You saw that last fastball. That's what he does. He tantalizes hitters with the upper reaches of the strike zone with that fastball. And he said he gets a lot of foul balls on him. Tap to shortstop, and Hardy takes care of it. 1 out.
You're always trying to make the right choices, obviously, as a hitter, but I sure would rather take my hack on that 2-0 fastball that was up than that 2-1 slider that was working toward the outside edge.
Yes. Marwin Gonzalez will be next at 228 with 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. Brandon Barnes on deck. Astros have gone 11-8 in their last 19 games. And the Orioles have been on a pretty good surge. They've won 10 of 14. Freddie Garcia deals ball one. Freddie Garcia signed with this Baltimore club March 29th. At the end of spring training, signed a minor league deal. High drive to right center again. Let's see if this is number 3 of the night for the Astros. And that one to the total. Marwin Gonzalez with number 4 of the year. And the Astros have hit 3 bombs here. That makes it 5-1. Houston.
That swing has been MIA for a while for Marwin Gonzalez, but the way he's played shortstop, if he could add this long ball a bit more into his repertoire, he becomes excessively valuable.
Hanging split finger right there. Marwin stayed back on it good, hitting against that front side and unloaded. That split finger's not working for Freddie Garcia. It's going to be a good night for the Astros.
That is a very important pitch for him. Ball one to Barnes. So 3 bombs already. That's 4 homers, 12 runs batted in for Marwin. And then last start, Freddie really had that split finger in a perfect spot. Tonight, he's not doing that.
There's another split finger right there. Stayed up in the zone. Brandon just missed that one.
Batting average against Freddie was .227 when this game started, but already Steve Johnson has begun to throw in the bullpen. And Freddie's one of those guys who keeps his walks down, though. And that's a key, too, not swinging at that pitch. So Barnes now has a 2-1 count. We were asking Brandon, who's the longest term Astro as far as years in the organization, minor league and major league, the day he got drafted. That was in 05. He was a 6th round pick, and he was a freshman at junior college when he got drafted. He takes a walk. That's number 1 for Garcia.
Log on to csnhouston.com and click on In-Game Live to enhance your Astros experience via computer, smartphone, or tablet. Get in-depth stats and join the social buzz. In-Game Live only on csnhouston.com.
Rick Adair's the pitching coach for the Baltimore Orioles. And Brandon Barnes said, well, you know, they told me I was going to be maybe a 2nd or 3rd round pick. 6th round, that was fine. It was just about getting an opportunity. Well, crooked numbers for Freddie Garcia. And now it's Jose Altuve. Of course, he was an undrafted player, signed as a free agent in Venezuela. Altuve singled to left center and rode home on the Castro 2-run homer. Reaches for that one. There's strike 1. Now, the hitting coaches were saying tonight, even though Altuve's average has dropped below 300 after such a torrid month of April, we're not worried about this guy.
We're talking about a hitting streak.
That's true.
He has been struggling during a hitting streak.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? 8-game hitting streak, 8 hits. Runner going. Wieters bounces the throw and still gets him. Well, it was a one-hop throw, but it was right on the bag. And Barnes is thrown out for out number 2.
Might I say that one-hop throw wound up as perfect as you could make it and provided an easy, quick tag down at the bag. Watch out if you're Freddie Garcia. That was close. Watch this ball go right over the pitcher. Yeah, that's just perfection.
Wieters continues to throw exceptionally well. He's thrown out 50% this year.
Good catch and tag, too.
Not exactly the way you plan it, but when it's all said and done, you just couldn't make it easier for the infielder.
Yeah, a coach back in the day said it doesn't have to be pretty. Outs is outs.
Yeah. 1-2 to Altuve now. Barnes is now 4 for 8 in base stealing. Yeah, Garcia was almost the casualty on that very low throw from Wieters.
Anybody have Mike Piazza flashbacks?
Yeah, but
he squared a couple guys up.
There wasn't that kind of velocity on it.
Wow.
Big hook catches Altuve looking. Strikeout number 1, and Marwin Gonzalez makes it a 3-home run night for Houston. And after 2, a 5-1 Astro lead.
It's 5-1 Astros in the top of the 3rd. Don't miss your chance to get your Orbit Bobble Belly. Saturday, June 15th, the Astros take on the Chicago White Sox at 6:15. Be sure to get to the park early. 10,000 fans will receive an Orbit Bobble Belly, courtesy of Coca-Cola. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS to get your tickets now, guys.
Did you guys know Julia does not eat before games?
Or during games.
She's stockpiling calories for the game time.
I have bad eating habits.
Manny Machado leads it off. There's strike 1 to Manny. Well, part of her job is to sample food.
Yep.
Sample being the key word in that phrase, Brownie. Not finish off.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the case, nobody works harder than Julia.
But he's right. He's right. I gotta admit.
You're doing a very thorough and complete job of that, Julia.
Thank you very much.
And we enjoyed hearing about the strawberry shortcake. There's a shot and backhanded. Matt Dominguez, long throw. Pretty play. These two guys might be doing this to each other for the next decade.
Somebody didn't get the memo. Don't hit it to 3rd. Ball was smoked by Manny Machado. But I just love that Matt Dominguez isn't trying to do too much. He does a good job of reading the hop, staying back, realizing he's going to get a pretty good hop. Didn't try and get in front of it, just use that glove.
I think that guy reads the papers and all the anticipation and the hype and all the stuff going on. Just get the impression he just says, I'm going to play a ball game tonight. I don't know what's going on around me.
I think you're right. Strike one to J.J. Hardy with the RBI single to center field. Nice quick pace for Dallas Keuchel. And it's 0-2. Listen to this lineup for the Corpus Christi Hooks tonight. Leading off in left field, George Springer. Batting third at first base, Jonathan Singleton. Batting fourth in center field, Justin Maxwell.
Doesn't sound half bad.
Say we're going to be hearing that pretty soon, somewhere around here, aren't we?
Yes.
Good chance.
Singleton's first game with Corpus Christi. Fly ball to right field. Maxwell's second game with Corpus Christi. Pro takes care of out number 2. So let's check in on Jonathan Singleton, just promoted to Double-A after hitting .286 in 6 games at A-ball Quad Cities. 3 homers, 5 runs batted in, an .810 slugging percentage. And he moved up and playing Midland tonight. And wouldn't you know it, with all that firepower in the lineup, it's Midland 2, Corpus Christi nothing in the third.
Well, if you're expected to step in and hit the long ball, I guess he did exactly what he's expected to do.
Didn't he, though? Adam Jones now. Curveball for ball 1. J-Max was 0 for 3 last night in his debut for Corpus Christi. Stole a base, scored a run, and the Hooks won 9-5 over Midland as he works his way back from a fractured bone in his left hand. Sharply hit, backhanded Altuve, throwing from center field. Tremendous play. Jose Altuve from way behind second base on the grass. This is a beauty.
Giving Adam Jones a taste of his own medicine right there. Heck of a play. Bottom of the third, the Astros on top with a couple home run balls, 5-1. The Astros wrap up their series with Baltimore tomorrow afternoon. Come see Castro and Altuve face off against Chris Davis, Manny Machado, and the rest of the Orioles. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to get your tickets now. And I thoroughly apologize for butchering that one. My goodness.
Join the club.
Castro, Astro, they're all the same.
Yeah. Well, Castro was very impressive first time up. Now he gets a curveball. He rifled that 2-run homer into the bullpen. So the bullpen has been the target for all 3 home runs for the Astros tonight off Freddie Garcia.
This guy's from Astro Valley, California, right?
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
he is.
They renamed him.
No balls, 2 strikes. Astros are honoring the courageous Houston firefighters who lost their lives during this brief 3-game homestand. The special patches there, and Jason's father, grandfather, both firefighters, and his brother currently is one. Bud Norris's grandfather was a firefighter. So those folks have a chance to receive free tickets for their immediate families during this series at Minute Maid Park. For the firefighter ID at the box office. That had some action on it, and it's a strikeout for Freddie Garcia, number 2.
I have a feeling that's the splitter that was in action for Freddie Garcia last time out in those 8 shutout innings.
Yeah, saw a few of those on the highlights from that start, Ash.
You start dealing this thing, and you don't need to be blowing mid-90s with a heater.
Good tumbling action.
Martinez takes, and that floats up high, ball 1. He lined out to short in the first inning. Freddie made 5 starts with AAA Norfolk before he was promoted to the Orioles. They've used a number of different starting pitchers. It's a 1-ball, 1 strike count. Freddie was second in the Rookie of the Year balloting to Kansas City's Carlos Beltran after his 17-8 rookie season with Seattle in '99. Good pickup by Hardy. 2 outs.
Kevin Eschenfelder brings the heat with special guests and in-depth analysis on Sports Talk Live every night at 5 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet.
2 outs, and it's Carlos Corberán who singled to right field in the first inning. Garcia, by the way, has the most career wins for any Venezuelan-born pitcher in Major League history, 154. That's in the air foul. And that famous trade in '98 that sent him from Houston to Seattle also included the talented shortstop Carlos Guillen, who, like Freddie Garcia, went on to a lengthy Major League career. John Halama was in that deal as well. Randy Johnson was spectacular for 2 months for Houston.
How about that second half? 1998 in the Astrodome.
Liner into right field. As a hit for Corp. He's 2 for 2.
Anybody who was here at that time, I have a feeling if they were a baseball fan at all, they were in the seats at the Astrodome. It was 50,000 a game.
It was.
And it was just as exciting as it gets.
It really was.
Another Brown kind of destroyed that postseason for the Astros. Kevin Brown was just off the charts, as it looked like the Astros might be the team to get to the World Series.
102 games to set a club record for wins in a season that year. Carlos Pena ripped a 2-run homer in the first inning. But then, after all was said and done, Randy Johnson moved on as a free agent. And Freddie Garcia, John Halama won a few games for Seattle, and Carlos Guillen just continued for years after that. Jerry Hunsaker said at the time that he knew that this was a lot to give up for Randy Johnson. He realized that the guys he traded would go on to good big league careers, and they have. But he said, even though I felt we would make the playoffs without this trade, we just really wanted to go to a World Series in the worst way, and we thought this was the time to go for it.
For me, it was a good deal.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you can find a lot of people who might feel otherwise when it's all said and done. But if you've got that shot to get to and win a World Series, I think you take it. And Randy Johnson gave you a great shot.
Yeah, he was okay. Trying to win games, I guess, eat up innings.
Yeah, inning eater is what he was. Did you get to face him much?
Yeah.
I underlined get to.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a real privilege. It was good early. After that, it got a little destructive on my part.
Freddie Garcia joined the White Sox in '04, coming from Seattle. And in the '05 season, he was 14-8. He helped the White Sox make postseason play and pitch very well in the postseason.
So when you faced the unit, did you look for anything in particular, or were you able to kind of handle the variance of pitches?
No.
Early on, you were good early. Yeah.
Early on, I was hyper aggressive. I was just a kid. And I knew he was throwing 95 plus, had a slider from hell. So I was like, I'm sitting on the heater because I didn't want to get to the slider. And I was fortunate enough to getting a 3-1 count one day, and a fastball found the middle of the plate, and I drove it over the left field wall. It was in Arizona. He struck out 14 of us that day and lost in a 2-1 game. So it was kind of funny because I hit the home run, and I was scared to death of that guy because I'm running around the bases, and he's looking at me, and he is just screaming at me. He's like, how did a rookie like this hit a home run? I hit home plate. I mean, I was hunkered down. Might have been the only home run trot where I was scared for my life. But yeah, he was a tough guy to face. And every time after that, he absolutely annihilated me with that slider.
Trevor Crow bats now, and there's ball 1 to him.
So you let him get away with that stuff?
Oh man, yeah. I had no choice.
That's beautiful.
I'd usually get a fastball up around my neck, and then everything else was a slider, back door, back foot. Yeah, it was not enjoyable.
Apparently he didn't realize who you were early on.
I don't think anybody did.
Fouled away, and Steve Johnson again warming up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, a lot of things strike us, of course, about that trade. Plummer, 98. Warmer, the runner at second. Pena, the runner at first. That trade was made with about 20 seconds to spare before the deadline. And the Astros didn't know for about 5 minutes whether they had gotten the phone call made. At that time, someone had to be in New York receiving the phone call that the trade had been agreed to, or it wasn't an official deal. It's all computerized now. Chris Davis with a play. And in the 3rd inning, it's no runs a hit, 2 men left. After 3, 5-1 Houston.
Top of the 4th inning, Astros on top 5-1, and this pitch by pitch presented by Steel Dealers. I'm going to show you how the Astro pitchers have tried to equalize. Chris Davis saw him facing the right-hander last night. Today it was Dallas Keuchel. Talked about not giving him anything to hit in the middle of the zone. You see a lot of pitches last night from Lucas Harrell off the plate. And you can see Dallas Keuchel working both inside and outside, eventually blowing him up with that. Almost looked like a cutter on the inner half on Chris Davis. But they've been doing a good job. Stick to that game plan.
And with this 5-1 lead, it's Keuchel working inning number 4 now. And that makes it easier for him to attack a guy like Chris Davis with the 4-run lead, but it's ball 1. Davis grounded out in the 1st inning. Altuve to his right, scoops it and throws. Just gets the hustling Davis one out.
Important to mention on that pitch by pitch too, that was with a runner at second base and first base open, so they were willing to attack Chris Davis.
Very good point. I think early in the game that's a very good idea. It's different when you get into the 7th, 8th, 9th innings. Matt Wieters is the batter. Well, we were really enjoying the singing of Danielle Bradbury tonight. She sang the national anthem, top 5 semifinalist on NBC's The Voice. And Julie's going to have a chat with her coming up here, Blummer.
I thought they were going to have a sing-off.
Well, maybe they'll do that too.
That'd be impressive. And my wife and daughters are thoroughly upset that they're not here to witness that.
She's from Cypress, Texas, went to Cy Ranch High School. And tweaking the ears of her friend there right now. Probably won't do that on The Voice, will she?
Well, you definitely don't have to check her anybody else's hearing. She sounds pretty good to me.
Yes, she does. Powerful voice.
That is one very strong voice. Great anthem.
16 years old, they said?
16 years old. She'll be doing the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings after she's on with Julia.
I like it.
Without mics.
Liner and Altuve's positioned perfectly to retire Wieters. 2 outs now. These Astros starters are stringing together the innings. 7 innings for Keuchel, his last start. 7 innings for Harrell last night. Eric Bedard went 7 Monday night. That's a nice number for a starting pitcher.
Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Danny Valencia is the batter. The ball one from Dallas Keuchel. Dallas, a 7th round pick of the Astros in 09 from Tulsa. Went to Arkansas. Going to be a big weekend for Oklahoma playing LSU in a super regional. With Jonathan Gray, the #1 starter for the Sooners. And we'll be hearing his name 24 hours from now. He'll be drafted high by somebody. Maybe the Astros.
Like that pitch.
Yeah.
Whether on or just off that inside edge, that's ideal. Now they say that Gray will touch 100 miles an hour.
That pitch right there is the reason that inside pitch is so good. Here you get to take a peek at Jonathan Gray. Been drafted twice already.
Yes, he has. Out of high school and junior college.
13th round, 10th round, keeps moving up. He's going to be real high next time he gets drafted.
He will be a high 1st rounder according to all the projections. He might be the first player drafted.
I don't care what you say about the new composite bats and things like that. If you got a 159 ERA, you're doing something right.
You bet. Here's a stat for you guys. Out of all the players drafted in the draft since 1965 when it started, first players drafted, there's been 1 Cy Young Award, 8 MVP awards, no Hall of Famers. Wow. Ground ball goes foul. Of course, you've got a couple guys in the pipeline for the Hall of Fame when they become eligible. Ken Griffey Jr. and Chipper Jones. And they would both be locks. There's the order. It starts tomorrow at 6. And a lot of fans have been invited to stick around after watching the game. And they'll be able to watch that pre-draft show at 5 o'clock with a 1:10 start here. And then first pick will be shortly after 6 o'clock.
So like the movie Dirty Harry, I gots to know.
I don't remember that being in that movie. Fly ball to center field. Barnes drifting back for this one. And it's out number 3. And that's 7 straight for Keuchel. He leads at 5-1.
and the
gorgeous national anthem before the game today by Danielle Bradbury, who's a 16-year-old from Cypress High School, but she's also a semifinalist for NBC's show The Voice, and I'm with her now. And it's been 2 months since you know, Danielle, we're going to wait 1 second because there's big things happening. Let Brownie have this.
Matt Dominguez hits the 4th Astro home run of the night. That's number 9 for Matt Dominguez, and it is 6-1. And Danielle hit a home run before the game.
She's the good luck charm, Brownie. But I do have Danielle with me. And you haven't been home in 2 months because you've been on this show. What was today like? You got 1 day to come home, see your friends, family. What was it like?
I had 1 day to come home, and we try to cram everything in it. But I cherish every moment of everything, and it's so amazing to be home for just a day.
Talk about your experience on the show. You told me you hadn't done talent shows, you haven't been in any groups, you just sang in your room. You've made it this far in the show. What's that experience been like?
I've sang in my room. I sang in front of my best friend, like every now and then, but I never would really like singing in front of anybody. But I went and auditioned, and I made it to the semifinals. It's crazy how things work.
You're on Team Blake, and I know there's a lot of Blake Shelton fans. So what has it been like working with him and getting to know some of these judges, these celebrities?
I've been a fan of Blake Shelton since day one, and he's so amazing, and he's so sweet. And he tells me, like, I got your back. If you need anything, I'm here for you. I'm just like, that is so awesome. And, like, when I'm singing, I look at him, and he's all singing with me, and just... He's really cool, and the other coaches are so amazing too. We've gotten to talk to them a little bit, and it's so awesome.
Do you get nervous anymore? You said you hadn't done any of this. You just said that, singing in my room, singing for my friends. Now you're singing in front of this national audience. When do you get nervous, if at all?
Before I do get nervous, but once I start singing and getting into the music, all the nerves go away. It's like a miracle, basically. I feel so comfortable on stage.
Okay, so what's next for you? You head back and then live performances down to the finals, right?
Yeah, I head back, live performances in the finals, and I just have to come back with the win.
And you're a big Astros fan.
Oh yeah, go Astros.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Everybody, vote for Danielle, the Astros fan on NBC's The Voice, guys.
Right after you vote for Jose Altuve, you can vote for Danielle. A lot of voting ahead for us. Meanwhile, Matt Dominguez has hit 9 homers in 23 games.
Freddie Garcia is just throwing hanging fastballs right down the middle, and Matt Dominguez decided to get in on the action. Blast one. See what kind of fan Danielle is. Nice.
Big night here.
That's 11 home runs allowed on the year in just about 40 innings for Freddie Garcia. So he's giving up a lot of dingers in very little time on the hill.
Steve Johnson comes in 1-1 with a 7.71 ERA for 9 1/3 innings.
Steve Johnson, by the way, Steve Johnson's dad is one of the broadcasters with the Orioles, and not on this trip here, working back in Baltimore.
Strike one to Marwin Gonzalez. Steve is 25 years old, born right there in Baltimore. Spent 8 years in the minors. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steve was drafted by the Dodgers in 05. Baltimore got him in a trade in 09 for George Sherrill. I wonder if his dad was in there lobbying the front office for that deal.
If it was me, I'd be saying probably no. I think that'd be one of the most difficult things possible. You're one of the broadcasters, and your son is playing on the team.
Yeah. Gonzalez strikes out. Freddie Garcia in 3 innings allowed 7 hits, 6 runs, walking 2, fanning 2.
I'd be probably saying, now you got to trade this guy. You can get something for him now. The value's up.
Brandon Barnes is grounded out, and he's walked. Maybe they could have a package deal for a broadcaster and a pitcher.
You know what? That might not be a bad idea.
Back to Brandon. Jose Altuve's on deck.
But we've had managers traded.
Right.
Wasn't there a deal involving a broadcaster?
Yeah, Ernie Harwell
was
traded for a player, Plummer. Minor leagues.
He must have been pretty good.
That's the case of a broadcaster having a pretty good year, I guess.
Yeah. Imagine being, well, in this case, the catcher Cliff Dapper was the player, but imagine being that player.
I might retire after that one, guys. No offense.
Oh, wait a minute, you're one of us now.
Well, that's one of those stories.
If somebody got traded for me now, they quit too.
That's one of those stories that would change through the years, though. As years go by, you could say, hey, I was traded for Ernie Harwell, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And Johnson gets a strikeout. That's 2 in a row since he came in for Garcia.
MLB.TV celebrates 11 years with new low yearly prices. Watch every out-of-market game live on over 350 supported mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere.
Altuve's 1 for 2. Looking at ball 1. Steve Johnson began this season on the disabled list with a right lat strain. Last year he was 4-0 with a 2.11 ERA for the Orioles. Moves Altuve back. It's 2 balls, no strikes. There are all kinds of draft projections out there. Sports Weekly is projecting Cavan Biggio to be drafted by the Yankees with the 33rd overall pick. Watch out. Kicks up into the crowd. 2 balls and a strike. Cavan is thought to be a low first or high second round pick.
But your Papa Biv is pretty happy about that.
Oh, yeah. There's a drive to left field. Is this number 5? Jose Altuve. 5 Astro homers. That's his 3rd of the year. And that ties their single game high for this year. And the Astros have built their way into a nice lead at 7-1.
Been a while for Jose, but he got a pitch up right here, and he also have that mojo going for the Astros bats now, and kind of free swinging.
Batting practice usually starts around 5 o'clock. They extended it here to 8:30.
Jason Castro takes the ball. They hit 5 long balls at Seattle on April 9th. So once again, they strike. And it's only the 4th inning. Castro hit the first one.
Little man with a big swing. Changeup coming right back to him. Everybody can get off the panic button now. He's right at 300.
Big cut there.
They can put everything into it, showing everybody.
That might get a little something back for that deep drive that was caught by Jones last night in center field. He decided to take matters into his own hands and hit one that no player could make a play on. 3 balls and a strike to Jason Castro. And Martinez on deck. And there's a walk to Jason. That's his 17th of the year. Buck Showalter's club came off a nice 4-1 homestand, winning both games from Washington and 2 of 3 against Detroit. The Orioles will be headed for Tampa Bay after tomorrow's finale of this series, while Jeff Blum, Alan Ashby, and the Astros head for Kansas City.
Brownie, they're going to feed us so well on that plane.
Yeah, what are you hearing?
Well, I don't know. I just wanted you to feel a little jealous about things.
I heard you guys are getting vegetarian meals tomorrow night. Ball one. Friday night, you get Jordan Lyles and James Shields.
Ooh, that's got a chance of being kind of good.
Yes.
My goodness.
Deep drive. Way up there, and that one bangs off the wall, and that is above the yellow line for another home run. That's number 6 for the Astros. J.D. Martinez unloads number 6 himself, and it's yet another 2-run shot and 3 home runs this inning.
Is this the Astros hitters saying, we don't need another power hitter, pick a pitcher in that draft?
It might be.
Good old-fashioned American League baseball. Ball's loud off the bat. See, he's tucked that thing up underneath the rafters.
They are hammering away a 4-run 4th inning, and it's 9-1. Carlos Corcoran takes. He's 2 for 2, 2 singles to right field. A lot of dancing around in the dugout tonight.
Been some good vibes in that clubhouse. Broke it up last night, losing that game, but it's good to see him answer back quickly against these Orioles after breaking that 6-game winning streak.
Last time the Astros hit 6 in a game was August 9th, 2006 against Pittsburgh. One ball, 2 strikes. Aubrey Huff hit 2 that night. Willie Taveras went deep for a rare homer. Jason Lane, Luke Scott, and Roy Oswalt connecting on that occasion. Tonight, 6 homers from 6 different players so far.
You can see the love in the dugout. It's great.
Now 3-2.
There is nothing like a good laugh for a ball club.
Yeah. Good point. You guys have seen a lot of close games recently, right?
Have been well-pitched games, tight, tough played, and so when you get those laughers on your side, they're just wonderful for the club.
Well, Johnson came out of the bullpen firing, and he struck out Gonzalez and Barnes. Since then, his inning has been spinning for him. A home run by Altuve, walk to Castro, homer Martinez, walk to Corcoran. That alternating home run and walk scenario is not anything any pitcher's interested in.
No, and you consider he came in and punched out first 2 guys he faced. Looked like he was getting off to a good start, but we'll say it again, 2 out RBIs by the Astros.
The Astros came into this game ranked 11th in home runs in the American League with 61. Carlos Pena hit the second long ball of the night. That was a 2-run shot in the first. And he walked in the third. There's strike 1 to Carlos.
And Carlos saw that one an extended amount of time, 66 miles an hour on the breaking ball.
What's the slowest pitch you can remember ever seeing?
I actually think Roy Oswalt threw it to me. It was like a 60-mile-an-hour breaking ball. That big balloon he used to fire up there, and gravity would take over and bring it back in the zone.
Dave LaRoche, the Lalab.
Oh, yeah.
Back when he'd probably flip it up there about 40 miles an hour.
Oh, that is fun. See David Murphy pitching last night for the Rangers.
Yeah, he threw a slow breaking ball in there for a punch out.
Yeah, he did.
And got a heated argument reaction about that pitch being called a strike. Looked like it was right down the middle.
Tomorrow at 1:10 here, it's Bud Norris and Miguel Gonzalez. Three balls and a strike. It's as if that 6-0 road trip built some esprit de corps among the boys.
Nobody joining the Marine Corps, but they are swinging the sticks.
Got the heavy artillery tonight.
3-2. One of the coaches said, well, we were definitely a tired ball club last night. And, you know, you don't want to use it as an excuse. We didn't hear anybody using it as an excuse, but you get 2 of those in a row, you're not a tired ball club anymore. You're just maybe headed into a slump, right?
Yeah. It's amazing they allow getaway days on the West Coast at night.
Yes. Struck him out. 8 Astros go to the plate. And there's number 1, Dominguez. And Altuve and Martinez, the bats singing as Danielle was. It's 9-1.
It is 9-1. Astros on top. The Astros Foundation presents Picnic in the Park Sunday, June 16th. Join the Astros on the field after the 1:10 game for a player autograph session, free picnic blanket, and a terrific cookout. Get your tickets today by calling 713-259-8851 or email picnic@astros.com. Guys.
Julia, hopefully J-Max will be back for that one, and he's pictured there along with his buddies. Playing game 2 of his rehab assignment at Corpus Christi tonight. Well, the fans have seen quite a show. They've seen 6 Houston home runs. The club record is 7. That was set in the 2000 season. The Astros played the Chicago Cubs. Dallas Keuchel, the beneficiary of all this offense, has a 9-1 lead. Inning number 5 begins. He's set down 7 in a row. It's Steve Pearce batting. That's ball 1. You know, we were talking about Dallas. He said it's really helped him to watch Eric Bedard work. And we've seen some similarities between Dallas and Eric, but he also said I picked up some things watching Lucas Harrell last year, how he would pitch inside to the hitters. Strike. So we make so much about left-handers learning from left-handers, but it could work the other way too.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if Eric Bedard might not have picked up something from Dallas Keuchel in terms of pace of game. Last time out for Eric, much quicker rhythm.
Okay. That's a strikeout, and it's number 2. Well, Lucas Harrell was saying that apparently he's now slowing down the pace of game when he gets in some trouble situations. And he's always had a very quick pace.
For me, I'll keep the defensive players on their toes over on the heels anytime.
Anytime.
Ball 1. Well, yeah, the Matt Dominguez's of the world have made a lot of plays for this pitching staff, so there's a lot to be said for that. But I was also wondering if you're just throwing the ball quickly every time and the hits are starting to accumulate, maybe that is a good thought to take a little walk behind the mound.
It's not a bad thing to go back there and gather, regroup. Figure out what you're going to do, take a deep breath, and make the right pitch.
Yeah, because, you know, pitcher's head could be spinning if he gives up 5 or 6 hits in a row and just keeps pumping. I'm not saying he's going to pump the ball to the middle, but just working quickly. Dominguez throws to first, 2 outs, and, you know, maybe the thought process needs to be analyzed a little bit there.
I think you're always looking for that magic bullet for whoever the pitcher may be. Find out whatever works. But if you can make a nice pace work, I think it helps you get better defense behind you.
Yeah. You remember Randy Jones. Boy.
Yeah.
He had some quick games. Strike one to McLeod.
Just talking about him recently, about pitchers who didn't throw hard, left-handers who turned switch hitters around to the other side of the plate.
Well, he did with Pete Rose.
That's
There's
it.
a liner into left. Caught on the run by J.D. Martinez. A good play to make it 10 straight. Birds set down by Dallas Keuchel and friends. And it's 9-1 Houston. Houston Astros baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by the new Chicken Fajita Sub, only at Quiznos, and by Progressive. Visit Progressive.com today. Well, the story of this game here in downtown Houston is long balls. The Astros lead at 9-1. They have hit 6. Trevor Crow's the batter. Bottom of the 5th inning begins. Steve Johnson throws, and there's strike one. Crow is grounded out twice to first base. Jeff Blum came up with an interesting note. Last time the Astros hit 6 home runs was that game in '06 against Pittsburgh we mentioned earlier. But we didn't realize that Nate McLeod was playing center field for the Pirates in that game. And now he's in left field, so maybe it's a McLeod kind of karma.
Is that what you call the lowest common denominator?
It might be. It's 1-2.
Yeah, when you do things like this, that many home runs, it's only the 5th inning, 6 of them, it's by 6 different players, and Brian McTaggart tweeted out that it's only the 2nd time it's happened in club history. All kinds of good stuff going on.
Brian McTaggart says that Mark Appel's #1 in the Astros draft list. Foul back.
I think that's simply because I laid out there that I thought that I always forget his name. Jonathan Gray with Oklahoma was going to be #1. So I think I can shift the tide.
Okay. So it's you versus McTaggart at 10 a.m. tomorrow down on the field.
Oh, I want to see that.
I'm going with Mac on that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes. It's kind of battling draft experts, though, isn't it? As you can read around on Twitter.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Swing and a miss. Crow strikes out. That's #4. Jim Bowden, the ESPN analyst, had some thoughts on the Astros pick today. First of all, let's bring you up to date in case you're just joining this on a 9-1 ball game with tons of home runs. You can see the distribution there.
Usually you get to this stage, 6 home runs in a ball game, and somebody or a couple of somebodies have a pair each. But 6 different guys with dingers. That's pretty impressive.
Well, when the Astros set their club record of 7 in 2000 against the Cubs, Tim Bogart hit 2. Richard Hidalgo hit 2. Lance Berkman hit 2. Darrell Ward hit 1. So that's what you're talking about. Or is it?
According to Brian McTaggart, Tim Bogart was in on the 6 home run game also.
Oh.
Julio Lugo, Tim Bogart, Jeff Bagwell, Moises Alou, Lance Berkman, and Chris Truby in August 16th of 2000.
Wow. You know, Blummer, one of my favorite memories was being in the seats at Wrigley Field on a day when we were not televising, day off. Of course, Ash was probably broadcasting on the radio.
He doesn't take any days off.
No, he works every game.
Cal Ripken over here.
But Bogart hit 2 home runs that day. Took a fly ball out to shallow left field. Hardy back, out number 2. And I happened to be just sitting in the seats for something different to do instead of in the press box. And it was a very, very fun experience because about 4 or 5 rows in front of me was Tim Bogart's family. And all kinds of relatives there, and they were absolutely going nuts.
It's a beautiful thing to see. It's good to see the families get involved and enjoy that whole process. That's awesome.
It really was.
I thought maybe you were going to talk about yourself going out to the bleachers in left field, getting a ball and throwing it back.
No.
Showing off that arm again, Brownie.
That's taking your life in your hands going out there. Ball 1 to Gonzalez.
You were the guy with the shirt off and the face paint, huh?
Do you remember?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Making beer runs.
All right, okay. All right, I'm busted. 2-0.
I thought I recognized that guy.
Now, do you remember the game, the last game of the '95 season? The Astros were in Wrigley playing the Cubs, and Randy Myers on the mound, and a fan jumped out of the stands and ran out to confront him after he gave up a home run to an Astro.
Yes.
How wild was that?
There's a clubhouse somewhere that has photographic evidence of that, and it was extremely frightening.
Wasn't that the guy that just got clocked?
I think
he got
Randy
clocked.
took it to him.
Yeah.
Randy clocked him.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's lucky that Randy didn't pull out one of those grenades he kept in his locker.
What?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
No.
It wasn't live.
No, it wasn't live.
Oh, my gosh.
No, but he had him in his locker. Struck him out. And after 5, it is 9-1. The Astros. Yeah.
Welcome back to Astros baseball. Astros on top 9-1 in the top of the 6th inning, and Inside the Lines is brought to you by Scotch Blue Painter's Tape. Scotch Blue, see what you can do. And no grenades being played here at third base. Dueling third baseman, a great barehanded play by Machado. Dominguez returns the favor on a solid backhand play and a good throw across the diamond. And Altuve getting in on some of the strong defense, giving Adam Jones a taste of his own medicine right there, taking away a base hit.
Quite a night for the Astros so far. They lead at 9-1. Dallas Keuchel works the 6th inning. Manny Machado taking strike 1.
What are you guys doing? Set the all-time record for the word grenade used in a broadcast?
Yes, we've been checking the record book. Yes.
We got six bombs here tonight. Why not throw a grenade in there?
Okay. 1 ball, 1 strike. Manny Machado's among the youngest players in the majors right now, but he's not the youngest. Bouncer Matt Dominguez spins, throws and gets him. And Machado twice has grounded to Dominguez tonight.
You know, Matt Dominguez can make it look so easy, but this is not an easy play. As you get pushed back as a third baseman, then the 360 involved, and just as easy as could be.
It's just not normal for a third baseman to have to do a 360 like that. Usually you don't have enough time to do that, but nice big hop. And you see the angle he took going back to create that longer hop, make it an easier hop to read and play. Does everything right down there.
Yeah, he uses the feet nicely to get in good positions.
Hardy takes a look at that one. 1-1. So yeah, interesting point. I've seen second basemen do that when they're maybe a guy's on first and the ball's hit to their left. They want to spin around and throw back to second. Blummer.
Yep. Not as easy when you got to throw it all the way across the diamond.
That's a rocket, but it goes foul.
See Kenny down there take off running like.
So that's Kenny tonight, right?
Kenny?
I can't keep up with these guys. Blummer knows every one of the ball boys and girls in the major leagues.
Heads up play. He wanted nothing to do with that thing. It was a bullet.
Good jump by Kenny.
Kenny's a player.
Jonathan Singleton has a hit and an RBI for Corpus Christi tonight. There's a roller out to second. Altuve on to first. And the ground ball out has been Keiko's specialty in recent starts.
By the way, at the start of play tonight, you know the Orioles are leading the major leagues in home runs at the start of play tonight. And you get that word that there's going to be this load of home runs in the ballgame. You might be inclined to think, boy, the Orioles are going to have a feast. But these Astros bats now with that 6-game winning streak and just the way it's all seemingly coming together.
Well, you bring up a point worth noting. 9-1 game, 6 homers for the Astros, so the attention swings to that. But on the other side of the field, 1 run on 3 hits through 5 2/3. Dallas Keuchel keeping these birds spellbound. And this powerful club came in 3rd in runs scored in the American League. Tops in total bases. So the pitcher should get his share of credit too.
Well, he should. And he's starting to turn in quality start after quality start.
This is his 6th start this year. That one goes on the ground into right field. So Jones takes it the other way on the 0-2 pitch. And that sets it up for Chris Davis to bat. Coming into the ballpark today, Travis Blackley was pointing out that Dallas Keuchel has worked in long relief. He's become a starter. You've had Paul Clemens, who's been a starter in the minor leagues. He stretched it out in long relief for the Astros, but he's now used in shorter stints. So the Astros have had a lot of availability in different ways for these guys who have come out of the bullpen. And I think the plan all along was to keep these relievers available to turn into starters, as Keuchel has done. And you've got Edgar Gonzalez, who's been a long man, but he could start if needed. So probably more flexibility on this staff than I can actually remember for many a year in terms of multiple innings from relief guys. That's out to right center field. Davis, with Barnes coming over to his left, getting it back into second base, has a single, sending Jones to third base. And Davis now 1 for 3.
This thing about good hitters, it's hard to hold them down for a long time. By the way, we got a bullfrog getting in on our broadcast tonight. I think.
Well, we're very close to the bayous, and you know, for you guys though, we're just having fun.
I'm new to this. Okay,
we're all new to this. But
Good
here,
grief.
How about this for a road trip?
Ash.
See that button right there, the red one?
This one?
Well, now that I'm the color of your shirt right now, I appreciate that, guys. Come on, guys, get that out. Here we go.
Right, okay.
Good grief. It's getting hot in here, huh?
Moving down to the field, yes.
Hey, how about the way we all wore different color shirts tonight?
No, that was
quality
pretty
work.
Salty vets.
Not even take a phone call. Matt Wieters looks at ball 1. Wieters is 0 for 2. But how about this road trip for you guys? You know, you go out west, you go Colorado and Anaheim, come back here for 2.5 days. Now you're going to be off to Kansas City and Seattle. Is there an end in sight to all these long trips?
I hope so.
Well, yeah, that's I guess my response too.
I don't know, but the Astros, the way they play on the road, they don't mind so much.
Well, after that last road trip.
They're 12-16 now on the road. That's pretty respectable.
Yeah, you play for the split on the road and win at home.
9-22 at home, though.
They played well against Kansas City here in Houston. Got a chance to go up there 3 against the Royals, and then go up to Seattle. They actually swung the bats extremely well in the cold up there earlier.
Well, let's see what lies ahead for our nomadic bunch. One more game with Baltimore here. 3 in Kansas City, 3 in Seattle. Back home against the White Sox.
With all these home runs, you look at that Seattle series and what the Astros did there first go around out there. There's some bombs being hit. You know, Chris Carter has already got his bags packed for that trip.
After that series he had, there's a shot foul. Well, here's something too with this 9-22 home record. The Astros have struggled to score runs at home this year. This might be their best offensive game of the year at home.
Watch Adam Jones. Woo. It's a tough spot to be in with a big right-handed hitter.
I'm not sure Adam was convinced all the way that he was safe.
No. That's a walk to load the bases. Back on the 24th of April, the Astros beat Seattle here 10-3. That's their best game to date at home. They're winning 9-1 now in the 6th inning, but the bases are loaded with Valencia coming up. Doug Brocail goes out. 95 pitches for Dallas Keuchel. Bo Porter said probably everybody tonight is available in the bullpen other than Josh Fields.
Paul Clemens out there getting loose, but Astros starters have upped their outings by at least an inning. Early in the season they were only going about 4.9. Now they've got to be up or over 6 innings as a starting group over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Mike Stanton was talking about that yesterday on the pregame show or the postgame show or one of those shows. But the starters ERA since May 15th is 3.26.
Nice.
I think part of the message right there from Doug Brocail could have been, look, you're down to getting one more out right now, because he could be done after this inning. So ramp it up and come right after this guy and see if you can get that big out that you need.
Valencia bats. And the curveball is working for strike 1. Valencia double to right and hit a fly ball to center. Keuchel moved into the rotation May 10th here against Texas. Pitched well, but he got no decision. He's won 2 and lost 1 in that starter's role. 0-2. You know, the Astros with their starters ERA 5.26 coming into this game, that wouldn't attract very much positive attention around the major leagues, but the way it's come down here over the last 3 weeks, and we're seeing 6 and 7 innings a night from these guys. It's been a definite uptick.
They desperately needed it. These first 40 games are getting pretty rough.
True.
It's a lot of expectation to put on your offense and your bullpen.
Keuchel with Corcoran coming out has the 0-2 pitch coming. Dallas 25 years old. He was 3-8 for the Astros last year with a 5.27 ERA. It's 1-2. The Astros will be going to Baltimore in late July, I believe. I think that's that Baltimore, Toronto, Minnesota trip.
It's 4 games in Toronto, isn't it?
I believe so, Ash. That's like dropping pins on a map with those 3 cities.
Yeah.
Not being very close together at all. Now 2-2.
Dallas trying to come off speed, utilizing the changeup quite a bit. They are going to make sure between Keuchel and Corcoran they get their message straight.
Is he concerned about that runner at second? Is that why he's calling the catcher out and taking care of things verbally?
It certainly could be the case. And Jeff and I have felt like on a number of occasions lately, certainly on the recent trip, that the Astros employed that concern numerous times.
Okay. Strike three. What a big pitch for Dallas Keuchel. In the 6th inning, no runs, 2 hits, 3 men stranded for Baltimore, and Houston leads it 9-1.
Welcome back. Bottom 6. It's 9-1 Astros. Brandon Barnes up first for the Astros here. And he hasn't hit a home run yet for the Astros, out of the norm. But last night he did hit one. He gave them their only run in the loss against the Orioles. And it was off Chris Tillman, who's a righty. And I say that because he's known as a lefty specialist. It has been this year. And he's trying to get his numbers up versus righties to keep a spot in the everyday lineup. I asked him about it. He was like, it's just a matter of getting at bats against the righties. He's starting to feel more comfortable with this.
Well, he's one of 3 Astros who has not hit a home run, as you point out, Julia. Here's strike one. It's Barnes is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Oh, the shame of it.
Yeah, and the shame of Carlos Corcoran, 2 for 2 with a walk, no home runs. And Trevor Crowe 0 for 3. So they're the guys who are really feeling the pressure in this ball game. Cracked out to left field. Let's see if it can turn left a little bit. No home run, but an extra base hit. And that's a double for Barnes, his 6th of the year.
We need to get a look at this swing, and I know we will. When he gets aggressive and takes this good hack, he has great success. It's a guy that can drive the baseball.
Cement mixer out over the plate. But when he gets extended, that ball goes. That was a line drive off the left field wall.
2 base hits for Brandon.
Some of his swings are so impressive, and yeah, you want to see that all the time, but if you can come up with that double swing and the home run ball occasionally and play a great center field, which Brandon can do, well, he could be very valuable.
Troy Patton is warming up in the bullpen while Orbit has just totally gone south on us. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jose Altuve is 2 for 3 with a homer. What has possessed Orbit to get into that routine? We haven't seen that from Orbit before. That's loop foul, and it's 1-2.
I don't think Jose barreled this one up.
No, he didn't. And Orbit's in some trouble
man
here.
down. Man down.
We're going to need some assistance very quickly.
He's going to pull something.
Hamstring? What's that?
Oh, could be any number of things. Can you take it out on that guy?
Check swing call, and it's 2-2. Oh. That's a massive amount of salad to try to lift up there over that rail.
What is happening? I apologize. It's my fault.
It looks like a moving shrub. 3-2.
I would like a shrub.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's hot in here now, I'm telling you.
Can you imagine trying to do that without the costume on, let alone with it on?
Orbit looks like my broadcasting skills right now. Kind of all over the place and doesn't know what to do with it while you're there.
Fly ball left field line. McLeod coming over for it into the corner on the warning track. Ending out number 1.
That sounded like a broken bat to me.
It did.
I believe it was.
Now Jason Castro will be the batter. But maybe a pitching change first. The lefty Troy Patton's been warming up. Buck Showalter's on his way to get Steve Johnson. And Patton, the lefty from Tomball, Texas, will be coming in. It's 9-1. The Astros have 10 hits in this ball game. They've banged out 6 home runs. That's the most they've hit in a game since the 06 season. Pitcher number 3 is on his way, and we'll be back to tell you more in just a moment.
One Astros. We want to remind you to tune in to Chevy Hometown Kids every Saturday morning at 9:30 on CSN. Chevy Hometown Kids, where it's not about the score, but the experience, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Troy Patton comes in, and he's back close to home. He was raised in Tomball, Texas. Troy was drafted by the Astros in the 9th round in 04. Traded to Baltimore after the 07 season, along with Luke Scott, Matt Albers, Dennis Sarfate, and Michael Costanzo for Miguel Tejada. He's 1-0 with a 4.62 ERA.
23rd appearance on the year. Not a few more hits than innings pitched. And he's allowed 4 home runs, so go get him, guys.
Left-hand hitters are hitting 341 off of him.
Throws that one for strike 1 to Castro. Castro has a 2-run homer and a walk in this game.
It's a tough angle presented right there for the left-hand hitters.
Sure is.
A little surprised to see that left-handed average and then that delivery.
A little bit of Frank Tanana from years gone by.
Barnes is on at second with 1 out in the 6th inning. He doubled. Patton has retired the first batter he's faced 15 out of 22 times. It's 2-1. Troy was born in Magnolia, Texas, went to Tomball High School. Came to the big leagues for 3 games with the Astros in 07 before the trade took him to Baltimore. Last year he pitched 54 times with good numbers for Baltimore last season. 2-2. You know, the Astros gave up a ton of talent. Luke Scott has had some good years. Matt Albers. But Miguel Tejada played well here. It was one of those deals you give up 5 for 1. That's a very risky deal for a general manager, Ed Wade in this case, to make. But Tejada really did well here. Astros down on strikes.
And I would say at a time of his career where there was no guarantee that he would do well, a guy that really has thrown together a great career.
Yes.
The Astros will host a 2013 draft party following tomorrow's 110 game with the Orioles. Fans are invited to stick around to watch the 2013 draft live on the big screen, as well as hear exclusive interviews from Astros GM Jeff Luhnow, Astros scouts, and more. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to get your tickets now.
Hey, you guys are going to be here for that, aren't you?
In spirit.
Okay.
We'll be thinking about you, Brownie. Make sure and let us know immediately.
We'll tweet
how
you.
the picks go.
Yeah, we need live tweets. I don't know if we have Wi-Fi on our plane, but I think we've got TVs.
Can you
maybe able to pick it up?
Tweet it 35,000 feet?
Yeah, we're going to do it. We'll have special communications through the pilot to you guys.
Now, I bet you that will be going on.
Some mile-high tweeting. That'd be interesting.
Well, you can still watch the MLB Network on the plane, right?
Yes, we can.
All right, so you can follow it that way. There'll be absolutely no need for any tweeting whatsoever. And they'll do a wonderful job of covering that. They'll be on the air actually at 5 o'clock Central Time with a 1-hour preview show. And that'll be about the time you guys sink into your seats and have that nice salad.
Thanks for the encouragement.
They're loading some avocados on there for you guys also.
Actually, that would work.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just for an extra treat.
California boys here.
I was waiting for an Orbit reference.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice job of spoiling.
Yep. Well, this has been a fertile area, developing a lot of major league talent down through the years. Troy Patton a part of that. Troy, 27 years old. And you add to the mix with the Cole Stewarts and the Kevin Viggios and the Clemens and the Pettits coming along in this year's draft. It's going to be fun to see where those guys go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. College players as well. Foul tip, strikeout, and Patton gets Castro and Martinez to end the Astros 6th inning with a score 9-1 Houston.
Top 7, Astros on top 9-1. We're going to bring you a pitch by pitch presented by Steel Dealers. It's going to show you Dallas Keuchel's night. Another quality start from the young man, going 6 innings, giving up 5 hits, only 1 earned run. Doing a good job, pretty effective working that inside corner, but turned himself into a ground ball pitcher. He's done a good job of busting guys in, having some guys fight off some ground balls, and then he comes back with some of the off speed over that outside corner to get the ground ball and sometimes even a strikeout. Good night for the young man.
10 ground ball outs for him out of the 18. Now Paul Clemens takes over with a 3-2 record of 4.32 ERA. Paul was saying yesterday, boy, it's the longest rest I've had between appearances all year. Well, his last appearance was May 31st against the Angels.
Been doing a great job dominating not only the right-hand hitters, but primarily the left-hand hitters.
Steve Pearce looked at 1 for ball 1. Pearce has struck out twice tonight. The shot backhanded Altuve, and the tag attempt missed him, and he got in safely. Carlos Pena tried to tag Pearce, but Pearce got under the tag and then was able to snake into first base.
I think Jose Altuve, upon reflection, might possibly realize anyway that planting the right foot might be the more sound way right at this point. But well, I'll tell you what, he can make that play on the move.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Ash. You got a little cavalier on that throw right there, and I think right there he realized the fact that he had a bad choice. Carlos Pena did what he could, but Steve Pearce did a great job of reading the throw and going down into that slide to avoid the tag.
Yeah, I think anytime you can plant and still have time to make the play, it's probably the better option.
That's out to right center field. Hit well by Casilla. Extra bases will score the run to make it 9-2. Casilla still turning to third. He's going to make it there easily with an RBI triple for Casilla. First triple for Casilla this season. That's RBI number 3 for him. He could scoot.
Yeah, he was running pretty good. Jumped on that first pitch fastball. Usually when pitchers have a big lead, they'll be aggressive with the fastball early in the count. Alexi Casilla got one he liked, tore a line drive into that right center field gap, going all the way to the wall. And with that play on Altuve, allows Steve Pearce to get on base and score on that triple.
I think these are rather tough, sometimes dangerous outings for a pitcher. You've got the big lead, tendency to just come in and throw a lot of fastballs, find a lot of plate. I think you have to pitch like you would pitch in any circumstance.
McLeod cracks one up to right field. Going back on it, Trevor Crowe. Here's the tag and the score to make it 9-3. Going back to the ball hit by Pearce, that was ruled a single by Steve Pearce. And now 2 runs have come home in the inning as the sacrifice fly gives McLeod his 13th run batted in.
And this one's a little bit, this outing for Paul Clemens is unlike the one he had in Seattle where he just came in firing fastballs. That was a huge lead by the Astros, and he gave up a couple home runs in that outing. And I agree with you, Ash. He's got to come in. He's been here long enough, but he needs to come in here and pitch as opposed to throw.
Got a great fastball. That one at 96, but at the same time, major league hitters, they know how to dial it up for that heat.
Especially this ball club in Baltimore. These guys can swing it.
15,526 the paid attendance, including those folks. It's 0-2 for Paul Clemens, who got a win in Colorado on that road trip. Came in with a game tied 2-2 in the 7th inning. Pitched in the 6-3 win at Angel Stadium. That's in for a strike, and Machado's probably 2 outs. Dropped a big hook on Manny Machado.
He's got a good one. Buckled him and put him away.
J.J. Hardy bats next. He's 1 for 3 in RBI, his first time up on a single. On this date in 1969, Houston selected J.R. Richard with the #2 overall pick in the draft.
The #2 pick?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure
Who's
out
before him.
Yeah.
Let's see. 69. Don't remember offhand.
Yeah, if JR could go #2, that's a pretty strong draft.
So the guy in front of him's got to be pretty good.
Jeff Burroughs?
Not bad.
69, yeah, that would be Jeff Burroughs.
Okay.
What year? Is that your year?
No.
When did you get
Well,
drafted?
actually, yes. But I think it could have been the winter. They had 2 drafts back in those days.
Oh, I did not know that.
Winter and summer. I need to look more closely at that one.
Ash was playing Alaskan baseball in the winter, and they really liked the way he set up behind the plate, so he went in the winter draft that year.
You're talking about that plate with the fish on it, though.
Well back.
It'd be a tough league in the winter.
No, I'll tell you the reason I remember the 69 and the split draft. One of the guys I grew up with, a kid by the name of Joe Levito, turned out being the #2 pick of that draft. The Washington Nationals took him in the winter draft. Ted Williams got him and said he was going to be the next Mickey Mantle. Didn't quite work out that way. But Jeff Burroughs was the other guy from the Long Beach area. We were in that the other side of the harbor out there. And Jeff was the phenom at the time with his great power. Of course, he turned out to be a heck of a major league hitter.
Big home run hitter. Atlanta and Texas. Shot to left field. J.J. Hardy into his home run trot. That's #13 for him. And the Birds get a deep one for the first time tonight. That's their 83rd of the year for the American League leading team.
Well, this is kind of who J.J. Hardy is. He's an outstanding defensive shortstop. Makes all the routine plays. Doesn't make mistakes. And with the bat, he will sting you with long balls.
Not a real high average, but he can drive the home run and driving some runs too.
Don't look now, but you got a 5-run ball game.
I think that removed some stucco off the wall out there in left field.
That was smoked.
9-4 ball game now. Jeff Burroughs went #1 in that 69 season for the Washington Senators. After J.R. Richard, Ted Nicholson went to the White Sox. Randy Sterling to the Mets. Alan Bannister to the Angels. Mike Anderson to the Phillies. This shows you what a crapshoot the draft is.
I got a chance to see a little of Mike Anderson back in those days. He was a good-looking outfielder.
He was.
You know, some guys don't wind up having long and distinguished careers in the major leagues, but there was a load of talent that you just ran through right there.
Did you play with Charlie Spikes, Ash?
Did play with Hard Charlie in Cleveland. Oscar Gamble, referred to him as Hard Charlie.
Oh. Adam Jones will strike one.
Oscar Gamble would not shut up. And it's 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, when you were on the bus or the plane. Oscar was yapping. And you'd hear Hard Charlie going on all the time. And it was just incredible.
He would not be a good roommate.
No, he'd be a horrible. Well,
you would have loved him on that flight from Anaheim, huh?
On the same floor with him, you were going to get crushed.
Oh, boy. No balls, 2 strikes to Adam Jones.
Oscar Gamble, a guy that was known for the hair back then, but
yeah,
you know what? He could swing that stick.
Struck him out. 3 runs come across in the 7th inning, including a Hardy home run. Now the Astros come up in the bottom of the 7th. See if they can do some more whacking. It's 9-4 Houston.
time to present our progressive fan of the game with this awesome goodie bag. And it's the guy to my right, Marcus Moore, who doesn't need any more goodies because in the second inning, they came over and said, if an Astros player hits a home run, you win the second inning slam and you get a free Denny's Grand Slam a week for a year. Marcus, what were your thoughts on winning this?
I was so happy when they hit the home run, when they hit it, my hands were in the air, sky high. I was so happy to get a free meal for a week. Oh, man, that's great.
That's all thanks to Marwin Gonzalez. Did you have any idea coming in today you'd be a winner of some Grand Slams?
No, I didn't. I was surprised when they sat right behind me and told me that. I was like, oh, my God. I was excited then.
What do you think of this home run derby you got tonight?
Oh, I'm loving it. Way to go, Astros. Way to go.
He doesn't know this, but I'm going to try to walk off with this golden ticket I have in my hand right here, guys.
I'm going to say, I know you're probably going to fight him for that, Julia.
You guys are good enough friends now to share that, aren't you?
I know. I told him he was taking me out. His wife agreed.
Hit number 3 of the night for Carlos Corcoran. He continues his perfect evening. 3 singles and a walk for Carlos. He'll take a 7-game hitting streak on to his next one. We were talking about Oscar Gamble. There's Oscar.
Yeah, that was right after a haircut, as I recall.
Yeah, did he take his hand off and it sound like this? Just a big pop.
Yeah.
Holy Toledo.
He was the leader in the hair department back in those days.
And the cap just kind of perched somewhere precariously on top of that.
Did he have to wear a helmet when he hit?
I think he did. Got a lot of protection. Carlos Pena, the batter.
Fun teammate.
Was he?
Oh, absolutely.
Travis Blackley's working for Houston. Pena hit one of those 2-run homers in the first. Who was the best teammate you ever had in terms of just a guy who was fun to be around?
Just fun. Oscar was one. Jose Cruz was certainly another.
Oh, yeah.
Jose was, you know, he was really quite amazing.
Adam Jones gives way to Nate McLeod.
The thing about Jose Cruz was he was a great player. And, you know, we had that 1980 season where we had a 3-game lead with 3 games to go in the season, had to go out to L.A. The Dodgers beat us 3 straight. And we had to play one more, number 163 on the year. And I wondered as we came to the park what the attitude, the mood was going to be and how it was going to proceed. And how it went was Jose Cruz got up on a table and danced for everybody, made us all laugh out of our minds, and we went out there and laughed our way into a big victory. And it was just the ideal way for that club to hit the field that day.
Trevor Crow looks at ball 1, and then Art Howe hit that big homer, of course, off Dave Gullis.
You have to come through, but it was a nice, loose atmosphere, and Jose was the guy that was really responsible for providing that.
You ever hear that story about Art Howe and that home run he hit?
I was there. I'm not sure I know the story you're referring to.
Line drive to right field. A hit for Trevor Crow. He joins in the hitting parade. And the Astros continue to mash. 11 hits tonight. They get 12 hits now. Every Astros reach base in this game. And Matt Dominguez comes up.
Well, let me hear about Artie.
Well, Art was at the plate, and he had 2 strikes on him. And Dave Golds dropped that big curveball on him. Knuckle curve, was it? And Doug Harvey was the home plate umpire. And let's see who the catcher was. Joe Ferguson, the catcher. Does that sound right?
Yes.
All right. And that pitch came in, and Ferguson thought it was strike 3. Doug Harvey's his ball. Ferguson jumped up. He went crazy. And when he settled down again, Harvey said, no, it's a ball. It's a little bit high. Art Howe looked back at him.
Harvey said, gentlemen, that missed by a quarter of an inch.
Deep drive, and here's Jones way back in center field. That ball's off the wall. Extra bases hit for Dominguez. And here's a play at the plate. 2-run scores. It's cut off. Dominguez is being run back by Davis and tagged out. But Corcoran and Crow were able to get home. And the Astros now go up 11-4. On the 2-run double by Dominguez, that gives him 3 runs batted in tonight, 32 for the year. He crushed that one.
That's the way you respond when the other team starts coming at you. And especially as Blummer was talking about this great offensive Orioles club. Terrific response.
Early in the season, the Astros had a tough time responding, also had a tough time getting those shutdown innings after they scored some runs. But the Astros are coming out here and laying it on thick.
Boy, they are banging away tonight. So Domingo got his 10th double of the year. And Corcoran may have felt the hot breath of Crow on his neck as he scored that run because Trevor wasn't far behind him. There's a hot shot into center field. And Marwin Gonzalez has a 2 for 4 now. So that's 4 hits in the inning allowed by Patton. So anyway, back to the story. And first of all, here's Matt Dominguez hit.
This ball's crushed out to this part of the ballpark.
We found out last night you got to hit it pretty good to get it over Adam Jones's head, and that ball was hit well enough that Adam Jones just put his head down and tried to play it off the wall.
A runner at first and 2 outs. That's Brandon Barnes. Ball 1. So that curveball came in. It was high. Ferguson went nuts. Harvey said, no, it's a ball. And Art Howe looked back, and Doug Harvey said, Artie, I wouldn't take that pitch again. And Goltz threw the curveball again. And Art hit it out of the park. And then he winked at Harvey as he crossed home plate. Pierce over with the grab. And after 7, the Astros lead at 11-4.
Spectacular alien themed fireworks show presented by Marathon Oil. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com to get your tickets today.
E.T. will make an appearance.
Alien themed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Travis Blackley comes in from the Astros bullpen to work the 8th inning. Paul Clemens in 1 inning allowed 3 hits, 3 runs with no walks. He struck out 2. Dallas Keuchel in 6 innings allowed 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts through 100 pitches. Now Blackley with no decisions has an ERA of 3.43. And he was saying today that his bullpen camaraderie is really building and kind of reminds him of that Oakland bullpen last year. And he was a part of a very unusual Oakland team that was never in first place until after the final game of the season last year.
What an amazing run they went on, the Oakland A's.
That's some kind of show they put on. Foul ball by Chris Davis.
You should go thank the Astros starters for allowing them to hang out a little bit longer with each other out there.
Yeah. Travis worked a scoreless inning Sunday against the Angels. He got hold number 9 of the year. So he's been in there in some very much tighter situations than this 7-run lead. No balls, 2 strikes. Mostly right work from the left-handed side in last night's game, and Josh Fields was the only other reliever who worked behind Lucas Harrell's 7 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wieters on deck. Blue Jays shut out the Giants today 4-0. R.A. Dickey got the win over Barry Zito, and Casey Jensen got his 12th save.
You could turn the radar guns off in that game.
Sundial.
You don't like looking at 76 miles an hour in that. Well, no, R.A. Dickey actually is a guy that allegedly throws a real hard knuckleball. So low 80s maybe.
Well, you say he could match Zito's fastball with his fast knuckleball.
That's fun.
You say Barry Zito actually at one time threw pretty good gas, huh?
I faced him when he was throwing low 90s with that curveball. He's pretty much unhittable.
So a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
I watched him in postseason last year, the World Series, and he was unhittable, and I was trying to figure out the whole time how he was pulling that off. Flipping stuff up there.
Yeah, his career seemed to be in jeopardy just a few years ago. Cubs and Angels are tied 5-5, bottom of the 9th in Anaheim. That's rocked on the line toward the right field wall. It hits off the base of the wall, kicks straight back toward the infield hard, and Davis is into second base. Looked like it hit where that padding ends, and it's probably cement there at the base of it. It just kicked hard back toward the infield.
Now, we've had a lot of balls hit really hard tonight, but I think that might have been the noisiest sounding shot of the night.
I was kind of curious to see that too, Brownie. You don't see that. I mean, you've seen a ton of games here at Minute Maid. That was one of the rarest bounces off that right field wall I've seen.
It really was. Well, these guys hit and score well from the 7th inning on, to the tune of #1 in the majors.
Yeah, don't take a nap on these guys or think you've got them, put them away. You got to keep pitching.
Mark Showalter's battling birds have 9 hits and 4 runs, and Matt Wieters, the batter, he's 0 for 2 with a walk. That's out to left center field. Brandon Barnes watching, and that one hits way up. And that's a 2-run homer by Wieters. Number 8 of the year for Wieters, giving him 34 runs batted in, and it's 11-6 now.
Yeah, take nothing for granted on these Baltimore Orioles.
You don't want to panic as the Astros in this inning, but considering the numbers we just saw and the way these two guys have led off this inning, there's nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. 2 runs have already scored, and you're up by 5, even with an 11 runs on the board.
What is going on in this ballpark tonight?
They filled it with helium.
Yeah. Valencia bats. Ball 1 to Valencia, who has a double in 3 trips. Nobody out here in the 8th inning with 2 runs home on the Wieters blast.
I think we should bring back the humidor from Colorado.
2-0.
That thing's been working up there, apparently.
Yeah, it was crazy to go in that series and have 2 low-scoring games like the Astros did.
This game tonight is more like turning back the clock to 2000 in this ballpark, the first year it opened. Now. Diamondbacks and Cardinals are tied 1-1. They're in the top of the 6th in St. Louis. Padres 1, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the 2nd in the Yasiel Puig era.
That's what it is in LA now, isn't it?
Wow.
Has he ever come on the scene?
Taking the city by storm so far.
There's a guy that's been playing Double-A ball.
Valencia draws a walk.
Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico viewers, listen up. Comcast Sportsnet covers the entire 5-state region, and we want your story ideas. Email us your ideas at regionalroundup@comcastsportsnet.com.
Josh Fields is warming up for Houston. Steve Pierce is the batter. Pierce reached on the infield hit in the 7th inning and came around on the triple by Casilla. Fields throwing in the bullpen as Pierce comes around for the 4th time. That's ball 1. Royals are up on the Twins 4-1. They're in the bottom of the 7th. The Astros hit Kansas City Friday night. It's Lyles and Shields. Saturday night, Bedard and Santana. Sunday, Harrell and Mendoza. And a pretty good chance, as we get a strike call there on the appeal, that you guys will have a George Brett sighting while you're in town.
Maybe get a chance to talk to him about that pine tar incident.
Yeah, he's the hitting coach now, the interim hitting coach of the Royals. He did not want the job except on that basis.
I haven't seen that incident for so long.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he had played it 6 days in a row on the road.
Yeah.
Worked out pretty good. We didn't see it yesterday.
That's what happened.
It's been at least a day.
We found the key, guys.
That's what it was.
Found the key.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
And you know we got plenty of time to talk about it with Blackley on the mound.
Yeah. Blackley was telling me he faced Edgar Gonzalez in winter ball in Mexico. Edgar was throwing 96.
Were they using the winter ball gun?
I don't know.
The regular season gun.
But he used to throw really hard.
Is there an exchange rate down there?
I'm not sure. Julio Teheran of the Braves shut out the Pirates 5-0. Getting Wandy Rodriguez, who left with an injury. Seemed to be around his left elbow area or forearm when he came out of the game. That's off his leg, foul. And so that's got to be scary for Clint Hurdle, because Wandy's a big part of that club, and that club has done exceptionally well.
Still trying to finish above 500.
Yeah. Pirates got only 1 hit.
I believe it was a pinch hit by Brandon Inge in the 8th inning.
Did you hear about what he did? I don't know if it was this year or maybe last year. He showed up in full hockey gear at the ballpark.
Inge?
Yeah. Swing and a miss.
What was that all about?
Well, everybody's into the Stanley Cup playoffs. Hey, there's George Brett. Well, he's coming.
Yeah, bring your ruler. Oh, wait, we got home plate. Still love Nettles, man. Yeah, we got him, guys.
All right.
Who was the next hitter due up?
Oh, my goodness.
He stood at the plate at the beginning of that scene.
Couldn't tell.
And none of us ever noticed Hal McRae was standing there.
Okay.
I've got issues with the bat boy. You got to go out there and grab that thing and throw it up the tunnel so they can't find it.
Alexei Casilla, the batter. There's strike one. Well, that call was overturned, though. Home run stood.
Technicality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Home plate is an unofficial ruling device.
So, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cole Hamill struck out 11, and the Phillies beat the Marlins 6-1. Dominic Brown hit his 18th. Hamels is now 2-9.
One of the Phillies is vying for the home run lead. Who is it?
That wouldn't have been the first one that came to mind, would it? Howard, Utley. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yankees swept the Indians 6-4 was their winning score today. Sabathia beating Kluber. Travis Hafner hit his 10th. Brett Gardner number 6. They have Teixeira back in the lineup now. He's hit a couple of homers. But they may not get A-Rod back.
You think?
Don't know. Inside for a ball. 2-2. Joe Girardi was just peppered with questions during his press conference today about Alex Rodriguez. He handled it very well. He said that issue is not for us to decide, and I talked to Alex about baseball and recovering from his injuries, and that's all we talk about. Three and 2. Talk about being a pressure cooker every day. Manage the Yankees.
My goodness, yeah. And then you add characters like A-Rod into the mix, and it just keeps piling on.
Exactly.
It's hard enough just being interviewed about the game each night.
Yes.
He's got to comment on personalities and off-field issues.
All the injuries they've had, he's had to deal with all that. And that's a walk. Casilla works the second walk of the inning, bringing up McLeod.
You know, sometimes when you've got a nice lead, you wind up giving up some hits. It happens, but the walks like this, that's the murderous point here in the inning.
Marwin Gonzalez comes over now. Carlos Pena will join in the group. Yeah, that becomes troublesome. Letting the other team back into the game when they don't have to swing the bats. Blackley now with 2 more walks in this inning has 15 walks. He's in his 22nd inning.
It's not good. We saw an appearance by Travis Blackley in Colorado. He came in, I think he threw about 9 or 10 pitches, walked 2 guys, and that was it. Saw Hector Ambrose down there ripping the jacket off, getting ready to go. Josh Fields already throwing.
Nate McLeod has a double and a sac fly. They called a balk on a pitcher last night for that fake to third and turn to first move.
Good.
Yeah.
Should have thrown him out of the game.
Was it Bob Davidson by any chance?
I don't know who it was. But
I wish they'd start coming down on that little spin towards second base when nobody defensively is near the bag.
Left third to first is now illegal, correct?
Yes.
So there you go, yeah. My goodness. Game has hit a wall. It's pretty entertaining up until this point.
Day game coming tomorrow at 1:10. Bud Norris will get the start for the Astros tomorrow. He'll be opposed by Miguel Gonzalez. Have you seen Miguel pitch, Ash?
I'm sure somewhere along the way, nothing standing out in my memory bank right now.
Okay. Well, Miguel's 29 years old. He was 9-4 last year for the Birds with a 3.25 ERA.
Obviously, I've seen the guy. Yeah, it's just one of those that doesn't stand out for me.
Well, Miguel was born in Guadalajara, Mexico, so he's on the hill tomorrow night for the Orioles. The Orioles don't really have what you would call a real strong #1 starter, shall we say. Jason Hamill leads them in wins with 7. He's 7-3 with a 5.43 ERA. It's 2-0. The trade rumors are already starting, of course. People starting to circulate different ideas about starting pitchers who might be available in deals. Scott Feldman of the Cubs is one of those names that's out there, and he's having a very good season for Chicago. 2-1. Bartolo Colon won his 4th in a row. The A's beat the Brewers today 6-1. Cologne 7-2. Bouncer goes foul. Brandon Moss hit a home run, his 9th. 2-2. White Sox will be here in about 10 days. They beat the Mariners in Seattle 7-5. They had a 5-run lead in the 14th, and Seattle tied it. And then they got 2 and won it in the 16th. Sounds like your White Sox.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
You guys like to play some extra inning game. Popped up. One that we distinctly remember right here. It's still 2-2.
Yeah, 14th innings have been good to me.
Oh, yeah.
You got some others beside the dinger?
I think I was either with the Astros or Padres when we went into Chicago and played the Cubs and had another 14-inning event and hit a game winner against the Cubbies.
You refer to those as events.
Yeah, those are epic events when they go that long.
Kyle Seager hit a 14th inning grand slam for the Mariners, but they still lost that game. Popped up, and this one brings Corcoran over, but they're going to get a shot at it. We know some Orioles fans are here, and you can see them attired in those orange shirts and some of the jerseys, but they make their presence known as they sing the national anthem. And they say, "Oh," they really yell it out. Goes foul. Now, Blummer, you probably didn't take in things like the Babe Ruth Museum when you went to Baltimore as a player, or did you?
Did not.
So now that you have all this leisure time, when you guys go there, that would be
something we can do
on your list.
Maybe do the tour. Have Julia bring her GoPro and video the whole thing. Get some insight into some of the artifacts in there.
It's definitely worth a visit.
Go check that out.
And of course, the harbor, you had to love that.
Yeah, that was good.
Fort McHenry. I'm sure you've done that. A shot into right field. Valencia to third, and the bases are loaded. On the single by McLeod. And here come the Birds, trailing by 5, but they have 3 men on base. And Machado's coming up. And Bo Porter wants time. Rough inning here for Blackley. Gave up a double to Davis, 2-run homer to Wieters, then a couple of walks, now this single. There's only 1 out. So with Machado coming up, the Astros call in Hector Ambriz. And this becomes a real sticky situation.
And we take a look at our Avis replay. This comes from a little earlier on the night. You may recall Orbit and all the fun he was having with the fans. A little stumble coming up.
Delusions of grandeur going across that.
You don't often see Orbit in reverse gear.
It has been a night of talent.
Didn't phase him one bit. Continuing to entertain. But I'm sure internally he was hitting the panic button.
Well, Orbit will actually be seeing a trainer after this game.
Get stitched back up after that one.
Yeah, he may be on the DL for, well, you guys will be on the road for a while. So hopefully he'll go on a rehab assignment to Corpus.
A couple right there showing a lot of concern over Orbert's well-being.
Orbit looks like he's saying, I got this. I've been here before.
Well, Hector Ambriz has been here before also, but the Astros bullpen probably was thinking it might be a nice restful night. Instead, now some tension has been ejected into the evening. He's 1-2 with a 4.5 ERA.
Yeah, the right-hand hitter's hitting .238, but watch out for the lefties. They have been enjoying some success.
Well, he's got Machado and Hardy, and then Jones. They're all right-handed batters. Well, we told you about that juggernaut, the Corpus Christi Hooks lineup tonight. So Justin Maxwell and Jonathan Singleton. And who else is down there? Maxwell, Singleton. Anyway, they lost 2-1.
There's too many superstars in that lineup to succeed, Brownie.
All that firepower.
Yeah.
It's Murphy's Law, Blummer. It really is. Now, Ambriz versus Machado. Machado is 0 for 4 tonight.
I'm not sure I want to hear you talking about Murphy's Law on a night where the Astros led 9-1, and now it's starting to get a little tight.
Exactly.
Well, Hector's been in some tight situations over that road trip, filling in for Jose Veras twice and getting a save in both games.
Well, this looks like it is a save situation almost right now. 5-run lead, but it technically is with the potential tying run on deck. That's ball one. Runner at third is Valencia, then it's Casilla and McLeod. Strike evens the count at 1-1 for Hector Ambriz. They got those two saves, one in Colorado, one against the Angels on the last road trip, and he's strung together several consecutive scoreless outings, 8 of them now. There's a shot into left field. That'll score Valencia, and it's 11-7. RBI single Machado, his 31st run batted in.
And now the tying run comes to the plate. I can't believe we're even having to talk about that.
Only 1 out of the inning also. Now we're starting to get into the meat of this lineup too. A little surprised to see the third base coach hold up Casilla at third base. Ball on the ground like that, Casilla can run. Probably got a good jump seeing the ball down. JD Martinez hasn't shown an outstanding arm.
It's also one of those scenarios, if you do send and you get a throw that gets launched over a cutoff man, 2 other base runners just might move up.
Third base coach is Bobby Dickerson. That's a strike to Hardy. Hardy driven in a couple of runs in this game with a single in the first and a homer in the 7th. 252 hitter with the bases loaded. Pops it up, and this one will go back into the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. This Oriole club, with all the late inning scoring the Birds have done, has rewarded the bullpen. The bullpen has 13 wins. And 8 times Buck Showalter's club has trailed after 6 and come back and won. Hardy takes it in the dirt. 1-2 with Adam Jones on deck. 11-7, 14 hits for Houston, 12 for Baltimore. And some power waiting to swing the bat next. And Hardy hit his 13th earlier. Jones has 11 home runs, and then Davis with 20. These 3, 4, 5 hitters can hit for some home runs. It's 2-2. Orioles lost the division series to the Yankees last year after winning a 1-game wild card playoff over Texas. Ground ball, Marlin, Jose, Carlos, turn 2. 6-4-3, and what a job by Hector Ambriz. After the single by Machado, he gets a double play ball, and And there's the way it goes as the Astros get their 76th of the year, and they lead at 11-7.
Astros on top of the Orioles. Bud Norris gets the call tomorrow afternoon in the series finale against the Orioles. Astros pregame live starts at 12:30 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet.
And let's take a look at tomorrow's pitching matchup brought to you by Chevron. Care for your car. That was not me in the background. That was a car horn. Tomorrow it's going to be Miguel Gonzalez for the Baltimore Orioles going up against Bud Norris here at Minute Maid Park, where he's been phenomenal. It'll be our chance to take a look at Miguel Gonzalez tomorrow. Haven't seen him pitch yet.
Well, you can join us, and coverage begins at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Houston. Astros pregame live. Here's Brian Mattis now. He's pitcher number 4. A 2-0 record, a 3.18 ERA for Mattis. And as you can see, he's really kept his whip down low, with a total of 19 base runners, 13 hits, and 6 walks in 22 2/3 innings. It's walks and hits per innings pitched.
Brian Mattis used to be one of the great hopes in this, what was to be future starting rotation for the Orioles.
Jose Altuve is 2 for 4, including a homer. Yeah, he really was. First round draft choice in 08. He was the 4th player drafted. Strike one. Brian's 26. He's from Grand Junction, Colorado, and he was a starter when he first came up in 09. But ran into tough sledding, especially in 2011 when he was 1-9 with an ERA of 10.69. And last year 6-10 with a 4.87 as a starter and reliever. Yeah, those are hard numbers for a manager to keep sending somebody out to the mound. Foul back, 1-2.
You know how teams are always looking for that left-handed starter?
Yep.
And it just seems like the majority of the times, the guys that you pick, you think are really going to be something, wind up being kind of a 90-mile-an-hour guy instead of one of the right-handers who you're already loaded with that maybe have a chance of being more in that mid-90s range. It's hard. You try the best you can to balance your pitching staff, righties and lefties. But, you know, when you just have better arms on one side or the other, you're safer, generally speaking, drafting in that direction.
It's 2-2. Troy Tulowitzki had a big day for the Rockies. They clobbered the Reds 12-4. He went 5 for 5 with 2 homers after delivering the game-winning homer last night. John Garland won it. Todd Helton hit his 6th home run. Tulowitzki now has 15 bombs. Targo hit 3, and he has 17 homers.
Well, we got a good peek at Cargo as well as Tulowitzki, who is just a terrific player. Cargo just takes some great swings. He comes up empty quite a few times, but well, he gives himself a chance with that hack.
He's such an athlete. Foul back. These guys, you know, Ash, when you came up, you didn't see guys built like Cargo that often, did you?
No. No, not many. There were guys that were really put together. You know, you were talking about Jeff Burroughs kind of being the big #1 back in '69.
Altuve hustles. Here's Machado out of the glove hand, and he got it. He just has a special arm, doesn't he?
He makes that play very smoothly. Of course, we're getting pretty accustomed to see Matt Dominguez making these plays, and Matt tends to use the glove on that kind of a play. That's really nice.
Smooth and quick. And there was something on that ball right there. He's got a great arm going on the run like that.
It just seems to stay on that same plane.
Could have seen this guy playing shortstop for a long time, but for that need.
Now Jason Castro hit the 2-run homer in the first. Then he walked in the fourth. That's a strike to Castro. You know, we see this, and we'll see it tomorrow. Say a guy's drafted #1 as a shortstop. Who knows? He could play anywhere. Usually shortstops are the most versatile types of player. So the idea, the intent is to keep him at short, but there might be a need somewhere else.
Well, need sometimes and body type sometimes too. These guys draft a guy at a college or high school at 6'3" playing shortstop. You know, they start to mature and the weight starts to stick, or they get on a different program and get too big to play shortstop by big league standards and have to move over to those corner positions.
That's an excellent point. And there's Cal Ripken Jr. Not very large.
I was just about to say, you mean like that Cal Ripken guy?
Yeah.
Well, A-Rod, he didn't have to move to shortstop. He could have played for a different team and continued to play shortstop, but going to the Yankees with Derek Jeter had to go to third base.
How about that Jeff Blum guy?
Oh, here's Hardy. Backhanding for out #2.
Jeff Blum is a big-bodied guy who played all around the infield.
That's right.
Yep, came up as a shortstop.
Let's go to Julia.
Thanks, Brownie. Some of you watching this game right now don't have CSN in your own home. If your TV provider doesn't carry CSN yet, call and tell them you want CSN so you can have the very best coverage of your Astros. This is your network, Astros fans. You deserve it. To get the facts, go to iwantcsnhouston.com, guys.
Thank you. Here's J.D. Martinez. He had a homer in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 4. And it's a ball in. Julia, you guys have just barely been here. Now you're packed already. You're heading out of town already tomorrow. Just a crazy stretch. 12 out of 15 on the road during this stretch for the Astros. So next time in, you get to settle in. Jose Veras, his 4-run lead is getting loose. And that becomes a little bit of a thought for a manager. Day game coming tomorrow regarding using closers and things of that nature. But the mantra is you win today's game.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, you always deal with tomorrow. Win it while you can.
That was a good one, Yogi.
Yogi taught me that one.
Did he? Yeah, it sounds like a Yogiism.
Like catcher logic.
Well, Bud Black a few days ago got into that long extra inning game for the Padres, and he had to use, well, he felt he had to use the next day's starting pitcher because otherwise he would have been out of relievers.
Oh boy!
So we went for today's game, and they won it.
Who started the next day?
I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to look at.
Yeah, very much so. Usually it's a day game, so you can't call up a guy from the minors. You can't get him there in time, right? There's a drive deep left center field. Jones is cruising back, though, and he got there to the warning track for out #3. We move to the 9th inning. It's 11-7 Astros.
top of the ninth. Houston Astros on top 11-7 over the Orioles. And just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And it was a home run fest during this game for the Houston Astros. Jason Castro started off, opened the floodgates a little bit. Marwin Gonzalez getting back in the act of hitting home runs. A lot of RBIs out there to be had, so it's good to see that they put that many runs on the board. It kind of helps out later in the game now that Jose Veras is in. There's a look at that 6 home run game by 6 different guys. Last time they did it, August 16, 2000. Julio Lugo, Tim Bogart, Jeff Bagwell, Moises Alou, Lance Berkman, Chris Truby.
Yeah, Chris had a nice home run year that year.
It's fun to see those graphics come up and recall some of the names that you haven't thought about for a while.
Well, that was the year in 2000 the Astros set the National League record for home runs in a season, 249. Most people would not have guessed that. Very explosive season. Richard
Hidalgo hit what, like 44?
He hit 44. Bagwell hit 47. Yeah. Jose Veras 0-4 with a 4.15 ERA, 11 for 14 in saves. This is not a save situation, but it tells you how much Bo Porter wants this game.
Tell you what, he better pitch like it's a save situation with the way the Baltimore Orioles swing the bats late in the game.
Well, that point is driven home by the fact that they have Jones, Davis, and Wieters coming up here in the 9th inning. Well, those are rally starting type guys, extra base hit type guys. Jones is 1 for 4. Orioles had 12 hits. The Astros have 14. No errors in the game. 8 men left on by Baltimore. 5 stranded by Houston. And it's up. Ball 1 from Veras, who pitched in the final game of the Angels series Monday night, picking up save number 11 in the 2-1 win. He worked 2/3 of an inning, allowing 1 hit, no runs through 15 pitches. It's now 2-0. Make it 1-1. Veras gave up a double to Alberto Callaspo and a walk to Josh Hamilton before he got the final out of that game. Struck out 2 Monday night. Bounced by the pitcher. Altuve over to first. Good strong throw, 1 out. Now Chris Davis. Davis has singled and doubled tonight in 4 trips. Davis is the 2nd player in Oriole history to hit 20 homers this early in a season. Brady Anderson hit his 20th in Baltimore's 49th game in '96. And he went on to set a single season club record of 50. And strike 1.
I bet you didn't have him on your fantasy team that year.
Well, that was a shocker, wasn't it? And
caught a lot of people off guard.
What was his next best home run total in a season? About 20 or so? It was crazy.
That.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The next best, 24.
Okay.
Actually put together some pretty nice seasons there, but not quite 50-ish.
Strikeout for out number 2. Houston Astros baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport Limited Edition. Visit MitsubishiCars.com/tomorrow. 2 outs now, and it's Matt Wieters the batter. Wieters made things a bit more interesting with his 2-run homer in the 8th inning. He also has a walk tonight in this 11-7 slugfest. The Astros have won 6 of their last 7. Veras trying to nail it down for Dallas Keuchel. It would be win number 3 of the year for him. That's strike 1. Crowd of 15,526. Hoping Veras can put away the Orioles. Check swing roller to third. Dominguez in and throws to first. Throws it wildly. Pena came off the bag to stop it from going up the right field line. But Wieters is able to reach. Dominguez chose to use the glove hand, and then the throw was not on target.
It's a tough play. Big left-handed hitter, third baseman, usually playing in that 6-hole, and a little bit deeper than normal. And on the check swing, had to come in. I think it was a smart move using the glove. I think he would have maybe had a chance if that ball's on line. Wieters credited with a hit.
Now we get a pinch runner for Wieters. No pinch runner for Wieters. That announcement was being made, we thought, but maybe erroneously.
Classic deke right there.
Okay. Well, they are a man short, though, with Markakis, so it does kind of limit what Buck Showalter can do in situations like this. Valencia, the batter, he has walked and doubled. And there's ball 1. Looks like Chris Dickerson out on deck. And he would be pinch hitting if the game continued after this batter for Steve Pearce. 1-1. As a breaking pitch off the corner for Veras.
Well, that's rather filthy, right on the heels of a heater right at the bottom of the knees.
Tough to answer either one of those pitches.
He wouldn't chase it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nice job by Carlos to get out and come up with that pitch.
He's had himself a night.
Hector Ambrose threw 8 pitches in 2/3 of an inning. He allowed 1 hit, no runs. Travis Flack played 1/4 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He threw 31 pitches. Swung and missed, and that's the ball game as the Astros have tied up this series. Veras comes in to get the final outs, and the Astros, with all the slugging they did, banged out 6 home runs tonight on their way to an 11-7 win, and that makes it 7 wins in their last 8 ball games.